Just setting up really quick. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Up really quick. Okay. All right, it looks like we're live. Today we'll be looking at the situation brought by the Argument League. It was requested. I did find it valuable. We'll speak on it more in a little bit. Hopefully these notifications go out. It's looking kind of weird. Nothing dinged on my end, but we'll see what's going on.
Who are you? You don't know? Don't tell me Negro, that's nothing. What were you before the white man named you a Negro? And where were you? And what did you have? What was yours? What language did you speak then? What was your name? It couldn't have been Smith or Jones or Bunch or Powell. That wasn't your name. They don't have those kind of names where you and I came from. No, what was your name? Being here in America doesn't make you an American. Being born here in America doesn't make you an American. Why, if birth made you American, you wouldn't need any legislation. You wouldn't need any amendments to the Constitution. No, I'm not an American. I'm one of the 22 million black people who are the victims of Americanism. One of the 22 million black people who are the victims of democracy. Nothing but disguised hypocrisy. I see America through the eyes of a victim.
The truth about slavery, many refuse to respect. How my people built this country off their own blood and sweat. America's just that house that slavery built, and I'ma speak on the facts since no one else will. Your name in capital letters is a corporate entity, while you remain suspect to intellectual property. James Marion Sims, father of gynecology, experimented on slave women in the 1840s. Try to invent the C-section. Hundreds of babies died at birth, but they still support the medical system and swear that shit works. No cure for cancer, ALS, AIDS. Wait, ain't y'all a little late?
Being here in America doesn't make you an American. Being born here in America doesn't make you an American. Why, if birth made you American, you wouldn't need any legislation. You wouldn't need any amendments to the Constitution. No, I'm not an American. I'm one of the 22 million black people who are the victims of Americanism. One of the 22 million black people who are the victims of democracy.
They came up with the plan to control and enslave man. Through revolution and war, man would be free no more. A secret society they made. Very few would make that grade. Unaware and deadly blind, the dumbed downness of mankind. They are hiding in plain sight, running a show without a fight. Modern day slavery got people working day and night. Almighty dollar in their sight, chasing it further into the light. If I work a little bit harder, one day I'll be alright. They tax our land, they tax our weight, they tax the bed in which you lay, they tax our food, they tax our drink. It taxes every time we think. And it's really about control, cause a dollar ain't worth a thing. Piece of paper and some ink that sticks of pain and suffering, yeah.
This is American justice. This is American democracy. And those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. But if you can't prove that a democracy is not hypocrisy, then don't put your hands on me. Democracy is hypocrisy. If democracy means freedom, why aren't our people free?
Bro, I always do that so that you guys don't hear my fan and all that. I'm sorry. I didn't forgot to unmute myself. I got to get better with that. But the more that I come back and go live, it won't be like that. But I've seen other people do it. It happens. We are human. Okay, I do apologize though. So today we'll be going through SOLARMIND was on the argument league, and they hounded him. They asked him questions. I love how they executed it. I definitely do. You guys can hear me? Because I just forgot to mute myself earlier. But you guys, they executed this live stream. I like it. Okay, now I'm gonna just give you a little secret or whatever. I'm still side-eyeing SOLARMIND. I don't want nothing to do with him. I never knew of him before Saneter Studios, and I know very little about him. But I think that they did a really good job. Okay, I think they really did a good job, and I was asked to review it. And I want to, also highlight the channel as well at the same time of doing this. Obviously, the men on there, we're holding him accountable and stuff like that. And that's what we need. See, again, I'm not going to try to, repeat myself. I'll do very little talking also in this video because it's really nothing for me to say. It's all here. I think they all did a great job. There's several people on the panel. That's another reason, if I have something to say, I will say something. I have no problem with that. But I don't know. So the lawyer situation and polite thing, we'll deal with that tomorrow. We'll look at that tomorrow. Yesterday I was talking about how I reached out to Empowered, Esquire TV, and asked her to look at SOLARMIND's charges and, if she wanted to go live with her thoughts on it. She did respond to my email. She is going to review the Saneter Studios video, and we'll kind of just see what happens. It is totally up to her. I can imagine that queen has a lot of stuff that she has to do, so we should just be thankful that, she is weighing in on the cases that she should weigh in on. But she did bring up the fact that, these are old charges. Understand that also I'm not trying to cape for, this dude or whatever. These charges are about 17 years old. So the fact that he's not out reoffending is important. We do need to include that. Now, this live stream is not to bully anybody. However, I do speak from my heart and from my mind, and sometimes I do so with passion. So I just wanted to point that out as well. Before we get into it, I went back and looked at some of the live stream last night. Some people were letting me know that NAPAH was talking about me in her live stream. Well, I watched that one. Throw that shit out the window, whatever. I just hit the dislike button and whatever. She really didn't say my name, but it's these allegations or whatever for me. So what I did was, I put my editing skills to use, okay? And I changed her voice a little bit so that we could understand what she was saying. And I want to play this before we, go live with, we already live, but I'm sorry, I drank some coffee, but I think I drank it a little bit too late. Like, it ain't settled in yet or whatever. And I normally don't drink coffee, but I did stay up late as hell looking at some of the other things that were sent to me, digging around on the computer and stuff. It is my day off, so I'm kind of like, damn, I shouldn't have did that, but you know what I'm saying? But so before we get into the Argument League situation, I do want to play this video of, again, it's been edited only to change the voice and cut out. I never cut out any of her words. I only cut out the pauses or whatever. But we're going to take a look at this. When people claim that they're a victim or whatever, it's something to look at. But the fact that she, it's the stuff that she said in the video. I'm just going to play it. Let's get it.
Hi, peace to the family. Peace to everybody. This is first off, this isn't a victim video. This is a woman's advocate video. I'm a woman's advocate. I usually fight for women's rights and children's rights, and I protect women and children. And so I'm protecting myself real quickly.
Bitch, where? You're not protecting the victim in this case. You caping for polite online. However, you know, your YouTube husband pointed out that behind the scenes you possibly feel another way. She does. She still sounds like shit. I didn't want to put the chipmunk voice on. It's not that many to choose from, but girl, I try to do it some way. Try to alter it a little bit, Alicia. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just going to put this out here. When you sit on
she does education and learning facts.
The internet and you lie on.
Oh, I also want to point out I did remove, you know what I mean? I did crop my screen, but I also wanted to, oh shit, let me not touch too much at one time. So if you guys can see, it says FOPE are sex offenders. Now, I don't feel that way, and that's another reason why. I mean, I don't know them at all, but I think that, you know, based off this situation, she has no way just to say that they're sex offenders or whatever. She's just playing the victim. In reality, trying to get the attention off the real victim and the real victim's family in this situation with polite and, you know, point the finger at this person and that person and then make herself seem like a victim, in my opinion. But let's take a look.
Women, and you think it's okay because you don't like a woman because she might look better than you. I'm talking to sisters. Or you don't like a woman because
I would never think that you look better than me, bitch. Them fake titties ain't gonna do it.
She won't be with you because you think she looks good. I'm talking to the men, the brothers. Or you don't like a woman's message because it just doesn't match your psychotic cult message. I'm talking to Hebrew Israelites, phobia, the sex offenders, sexual predators. When you do these things, you are sexually harassing women. I'm going to make some changes. I don't care if I'm a minority. I'm going to make some changes with these people on YouTube. YouTube doesn't seem to think it's very serious when black women are being harassed.
Oh, hold on really quick. I just want to tell the queen something. I meant to send you a text, the True Royal Family. I did get the gifts that you sent me. I do appreciate them. I believe I got 2. So I don't know if there was anything else coming, but you can send me the video so that I can follow that regimen. I would appreciate that. And thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Make sure that you check out the True Royal Family.
And black men are being harassed. It seems like it takes them such a long time to get it together and put you animals in line. You crack babies that do not know how to conduct yourselves. You think you found a space where you can harass women and sexually harass women and keep calling women who've never exhibited any type of sexual promiscuity at all whatsoever, me, a woman who is very classy. I'm not a whore. I don't talk like a whore. I don't speak to men like a whore. But you continue to call me a pastor. So you think I'm hurt. I'm not. I'm letting you know that it's time. If you want, you know what there's a line, let the battle be joined. You won't win. So I'm going to start it. And I'm calling out all the women who are really for women. If you're really for women and children, so you say you are, since this whole scandal with Polite has come.
See, you know what? I'm really tired of this bitch and this bitch ass nigga Saneter acting like a motherfucker is not fighting for pedophilia, fighting for children. Bitch, I've been doing this shit when you was sitting up here injecting hormones in your titties and trying to plump up your lips and shit. I've been doing this before you was even sending nudes to everybody, every male on YouTube. Bitch, stop. Just stop. I have 4 channels where I advocate against this. I spent 2 years fighting a bitch that does the same thing as you, showing her titty, leading with her pussy, right? Only to find out that her motherfucking baby daddy is a 2-time sex offender. Bitch, don't play with me, ho. I'm sorry. I digress. Let me go back into it.
Now, you say you're with women and you say you protect children. We are going to change the conduct that's going on in these YouTube streets with these black people and black women and men, even women who've been harassed themselves, have the audacity to call me a pass around. I'm talking to the woman sphere. You women have the nerve to say you passed around NAPAH. Bitch, where am I passed around? How dare you? We're gonna change this. Sophie, with harassing me.
Now, I'm not with, you know, them ladies that you were speaking of just now, but I'm gonna call you a pass around because that's what y'all bitches do. You try to get attention just off of your body or whatever, where it should really be your mind that should, you know, bring men in to be attracted to you. Not only just your body. Again, a bitch that leads with her pussy.
Since I married Saneter, because I won't marry one of you, because I won't marry a Hebrew Israelite. You say it's okay that I'm sexually harassed. Sexual harassment isn't just about, hey, I like the way your booty looks. Sexual harassment is calling a woman a whore every time she turns around, or asking men that, you know, somehow have pictures of women. Can I please have them? Send them. And about Karima Powell with the Down syndrome child, I will be reporting you. I've already, yes, you could call me. I don't go with that black culture, so no snitches. Just like with the little girl who reported, whether she's lying or not, people are saying she's not telling the truth, people saying she's telling the truth. Her mother went to the police. And according to her, someone told her, don't go to the police.
Why you couldn't say this type of shit on Saneter's platform? Oops, because you don't have a real mouth over there.
Well, I'm one of those women too. And by the way, she's Dominicana. So all of you people that said, oh, you don't like Dominicans, she's Dominicana. You say she's not even black, by the way. Sidebar, digress. Back on track. Take this video, share it. We're changing the language on YouTube. We're changing the conduct on YouTube, all right? And YouTube's gonna be held accountable. But for now, I'm letting you know, any woman or man that goes around calling me or any other sister a pass around or a whore is a sexual abusive person and is—
You a liar. I call it like I see it. I would never sexually abuse anybody, but I know a hoe when I see one.
Sexually harassing women. If you think you can go around calling women whores and sluts,
if you want to be called a queen or something better, then conduct yourself in a better manner.
And pass around. You got another thing coming if you're coming around me. Who's gonna stand with me? Let's see which women are really for women. Oh, I'm not standing with NAPAH because she thinks she's so pretty. All the men always telling her how beautiful she is. Oh, she thinks she's so smart. Then you're not for women. Take several fucking seats.
Because, what? Why in the fuck would somebody hate on you because men think, or whatever, if they're attracted to you or whatever? That is not the issue here. The issue here is that you do not set an example for the princesses, right? Coming up, you're not showing them how to become a queen.
Now, anybody who wants to stand with me on this, let me know, because this is over.
She sure does sound crazy. She sound crazy as hell.
Promise you, I'm taking this to the almighty power first. And
you know, Claudiva did this same thing. She played victim and, oh, look at all these people sending around my nudes. How did they get them? They got them because of you.
The host of heaven, who you call ancestors and angels and demons, they're coming for you. They're coming for you. Keep on going around.
Ooh, I'm so scared.
You call me, oh, did you get those pictures of NAPAH? Ooh, I saw some. I'm gonna look at these milk jugs. What the fuck is wrong with black people? What's wrong with you? Are you?
What the fuck is wrong with chicks that feel like it's okay to just send a whole bunch of males their pictures or whatever? That is kind of like weird as hell. That's some sexual deviant shit. Like, you didn't even ask, did they want to see it? You just sending it because you trying to get attention. In my opinion, that's what you want. Just like Clyde.
Fucking sick? Yes. Are you adults? Yes. Are you crack babies? Yes. It's over. By any means necessary, I will use the FBI, which I've already contacted them. I will go to YouTube. I will use lawyers, and guess what? That's not the only thing I'm gonna use. I'm not putting that in this video because I don't want to incriminate myself. You Negroes think that this is a game. You fucked with the wrong one, baby. Because I don't do internet porn, okay? I don't sit on the internet drinking with my legs cocked open, okay? And even if I did, Those sisters they don't deserve to be harassed. If a woman wants to sit on the internet drinking with her lingerie and her titties showing, she doesn't need to be fucking harassed by weirdos. She's a grown-ass woman. You don't like her, move the fuck on. You don't get to call sisters.
Yeah, and then how is she talking about running to the FBI and shit? Then men should run to the FBI because what you did is try to sexually abuse them. You tried to burn their eyeballs out. Don't nobody want that shit that Saneter didn't hit. And you claim that you married to him, right? But bitch, you definitely in your own state, your own town, letting another nigga hit. Bitch, you're not faithful. A bitch that would send her pictures around to all type of men is not no chick that I want on my squad, bitch. I've never liked you. I've seen that you tried to stir up shit, conquer and divide over there. If Saneter's platform falls, you're not gonna stand with him.
Whores and put their pictures out and laugh and play with yourself and act like freaks.
You want people to play with themselves off of your picture. Ma'am, stop.
The black woman doesn't deserve this. I thought you loved the black woman so much. Well, this one is a storm. My name doesn't just mean empty field. It means...
Yeah, ghetto acting holy. Yeah, your name is empty field. Your womb is probably empty too.
Terrible demon. Yeah, use that clip to phobia, you goddamn sex offender, sex predators. The authorities are coming for you, and I will be. You think it'll be on my neck?
What's good, bro, Dice? I thought you had a wrench over here. My bad. You got one now, bro.
I will be on your neck with Yahweh because you cannot sexually harass women.
So right now we're listening to NAPAH play the victim without actually being a victim.
And high-five yourselves, and everybody sit back and say, well, NAPAH gets what she deserves. She's a homewrecker. First off, you don't even know. My husband has 3 wives.
That is your YouTube husband, boo. Okay? Your YouTube bae. Okay?
He had 2 before I met him. And even if he didn't have 2, that's none of your goddamn business. All the different side chicks and cheaters out there, you just want a reason to be able to harass a woman and hate a sister because she has a mind and she takes care of herself. It's over. This is a call to arms to real women, real sisters. You don't have to be my friend. You don't have to kumbaya. You don't have to sit down and have a sister sit down with me. But if you are for women, you better stand with me against these niggas on the internet. Yes, I said niggas. Obviously, I don't care at this moment. You better stand with me against these people, these women, and these men who think it's okay to sexually harass sisters, to call sisters pass around. Oh, NAPAH whore. When have I been a whore? You know, I've had sisters. I've seen their pictures put up. I flagged the video. Goddamn right. I've seen people who...
Sis, why was Blackberry's... You didn't block her, did you? No. Watch what we're doing, you guys. We don't want to block nobody, you know what I'm saying? And you hear that, roll with us. You know what I'm saying?
Say they were in some kind of, sex profession. If I see a video of the sister, I'll flag the video. Because she didn't authorize anybody to take her pictures or her videos and be put up and made fun of.
I'm sorry, I got deliveries coming and all type of stuff. Hold on.
And all you terrible women sit in the chat. I understand men can be just disconnected, but all you terrible, nasty women sit in the chat laughing at women being sexually harassed. Shame on you. Shame on you. I wonder what you look like or what you smell like, you nasty, rotten women. You filthy, nasty, rotten, bitter women. Now, I'm here to help you heal, but first off, bitch, you will get your block knocked off first, and we'll put a new head on you, because you're going to stop sexually harassing women on the internet, okay? I promise you, it's my mission. Now I know my husband, he says, baby, don't be out there, just stay off the internet, please don't go live. I have to go with what the spirit moves me to do through Yahweh. You are going to stop sexually harassing women on this.
Stop bringing, this religion that you believe in into this situation. Yahweh is not in support of, women playing the victim. I'm pretty sure. I don't do religion again, but I'm just saying, it's weird how these people run back to their God when they want to play the victim. But where was your God when you were out here, just because a man hits you up in your inbox or whatever and acts interested does not mean that you should go that route and send your pictures out. Now, you claim that SOLARMIND is the reason why all these other men got your pictures, but that's not all the way true.
internet. Black women aren't jokes. We're not objects, and we're not clowns, and we don't get to be talked about on the internet or passed around. Oh, you nasty, pass around. Oh, you whore. Oh, just ignore it. No, I'm not ignoring a motherfucking thing. Why do you think there's guidelines on YouTube? How about they get off YouTube? Oh, just ignore it. Oh, she's upset. No, I'm not upset, bitch. I'm ready.
How about you just don't do it no more?
You don't know who you're dealing with, but you will find out. Keep it up. Let the killing begin is what the comedian said.
Are you finna kill somebody now? Oh, okay.
Let the killing begin now. Nobody's killing anybody. If you try to incriminate me, if something happens to one of these people who have been doing these things, I
Yeah, clean it up after the fact.
have nothing to do with it. But
Yeah, I guess she's Dominican Blackberry.
let the killing begin. Eddie Griffin, he was joking around. I'm outside in this parking lot. Yeah, he said, let the killing begin. That means bring him to the slaughter. If you want to play games, you like to look at naked women, pictures that weren't sent to you. You like to talk about sisters and, oh, look at this woman. She's a whore. She's homeless. She's walking down the street. Oh, I see. Here's SHADAH walking to the store. That's called stalking.
Notice that all the women that she's talking up for Ashe Divine, Clyde Diva, they on that naked nudity shit, type of shit. You see what I'm saying? And I guess that means that because they did it right, that you should do it, correct?
That's called stalking. A black woman walking with her children, and you think that shit is funny? And you black women sit there, oh, that get her shit, because she's pretty. Because she's pretty and thick, and she brags on herself. She can do what she wants to do. You're mad. Black women, you need to wake the fuck up.
Exactly. Salida, American Indian, said sending nude pics, but she doesn't want to be looked at as an object. Facts. Big facts.
You're next. Get her shug. Get her Fopi. Now, like I said, this isn't going to be long. 11 minutes. Share this video, because I'm not going to stop. We're going to make some changes here. Anybody who you hear sitting around, to pass around, if you're a black woman and if I see, I'm gonna, yes I am. I'll be the judge and the jury and the police. I'm gonna be the police. If I see any black woman sitting,
she be drinking 40s and shit of Red Bull. Yuck. Bro, are you serious? The only beer I'm drinking is Corona, and I don't even drink like that.
in anything,
But Red Bull,
talking about, yeah, if you see somebody calling a sister a pass around or a whore or a slut, and I see you sitting there laughing in the chat, I'm screenshotting your shit and I'm reading your fucking name off. You gonna be famous. You wanna be famous, bitch? I'm screenshotting your shit and we're gonna drag your motherfucking ass through the dirt. And
bitch, you would never, could never. You need to do better.
anybody who doesn't like me cursing, I'm tired of y'all. You forgot who I am. I am NAPAH. I am NAPAH. I love my people.
You are an empty field, bitch. That's all your name means.
But we're gonna cut this shit out. It's not cool to dog on black women. It's not cool to dog on any women. It's not cool to sexually
She's so-called married to crack monster. Facts.
sexually harass sisters. Calling sisters pass around. That's sexual harassment. You hoped that one sister committed suicide. She had to say she conservate.
How we need to go back to the origination of your nudes, bitch. You sent them to several men. Those several men sent it to other several men and women to laugh at your goofy ass. Cause you was up in the picture looking like this and shit, and all them other pictures. That, you know, the emojis and shit. You know, cause she like to flag and get mad. Oh, you're using my likeness. Well, bitch, stop talking.
They have to fake her suicide to get you nasty ass people off her. Oh, you don't know how she is. She's a bitch. I don't care if she's a bitch. Leave her alone. Leave women alone.
She sure can't handle this pressure, Blackberry. I ain't even dug in yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for her to motherfucking say something that's relevant or just put her foot in her mouth. I mean, I can continuously come back here and drag her, but I feel like that's kind of like Saneter's goal. He wants me to be distracted by this bitch when I should really be, you know, looking at other situations surrounding this. Because like I said, I really do think that there is a sex ring associated with Brother Polite, Saneter, okay, and some other people involved in this. We ain't even, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be very mindful about what I come on here and say and all that. But we ain't finna play these games.
It's not okay. Well, she's on OnlyFans. And I thought you were a grown-ass person. You don't know what sex is? You gonna attack black women because they're on...
Yeah, but a woman that got a husband, like, bitch, you is not a porn star. You know what I mean? Like, you are a member of the quote-unquote conscious community. The House of Consciousness is your YouTube husband. Saneter Studios, Black News 102. And you on OnlyFans with your pussy out. And that ain't where he got the pictures from, bitch. You sent them pictures and them videos to men, period. It was not just OnlyFans, then they got a membership and screenshotted it or recorded it or whatever. Bitch, you lying.
OnlyFans, but there's a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar...
He definitely did. First of all, adding him in her in started bringing his channel down. Because if you see, like, what some of the other moderators of Saneter Studios, right, said about him, like Sister Noble and Sister Nandy, salute to those two queens right there. But if you listen to their stories, and again, I may pull up with that or just premiere it, make a little video or whatever, and premiere it, because what they had to say was valid, and it was definitely important. Since NAPAH, SHADAH, you know, there was already issues in my mind with the platform, but if other people want to, you know, look into religion, I can't stop them. You know what I mean? I don't judge people just solely off of that. But I get it. I always looked at you know what I mean, that shit, Saneter shit, as it wasn't necessarily about consciousness. It was more about religion. And people subscribe to that. That's cool. But when you got all these sex offenders, motherfuckers with fucked up ass past, I'm not talking about drug charges from years ago or whatever, but in my mind, the reason why Saneter got popped off with all them little crimes or whatever, them third degrees, which means under a gram of a controlled substance, it wasn't marijuana, boo. So, you know what I mean? Those little things, that would mean to me that he is smoking and got caught, you know what I'm saying, with it on this person. That doesn't mean that he went to jail for smoking crack. He had a little amount of crack or heroin or whatever on him. It wasn't a pill. So it was either crack or heroin. And I don't think it was weed. But he got a problem with weed. But anyway, this the whole thing is just wild as hell. But that was my point in pointing out, you know what I'm saying, his charges or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I can tell a fiend when I see one. And in reality, I thought that Saneter possibly overcame that. So I was like, well, maybe he just coming off as that because he overcame it or whatever. And now I'm just seeing in reality that, nigga, I think you still use, you just learned how to control it. But a lot of your actions and your bitch action, like, bitch, I think she using too. She using something.
The porn industry, I don't see any of you standing outside any porn shop.
I'll take crack for 500, queen. I feel that. But if it was heroin, he definitely used crack. Because somebody that's on heroin, they'll get sick if they don't have it. So if somebody got crack around him or whatever, then he probably about was smoking that shit. You know what I'm saying? But just the fact that he has all these charges, like, that are lined up like that, like it was a long ass list. So how did you accumulate all these charges and you really never, he didn't sit down in prison for no long ass time. He didn't do, like, here you have some charges like that, your ass still gonna be in prison. The fuck? You would have never, you know what I mean? Black News 102 would have never been around, Saneter Studios would have never been around because your ass would have been in prison. They hit motherfuckers with football numbers behind drugs. You know what I'm saying? You better, if you get locked up for a drug charge, you better be in there reading your discovery of your case and picking through that motherfucker. I'm talking about spending hours and hours and hours looking at your shit. Do not leave it up to no public defender or a paid attorney. Because the littlest thing can help you fight your case and get your, you know what I mean, a better plea or whatever. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get back into it. I got sidetracked and shit, you know?
With picket signs,
Saneter
you
can't
want to
tell
go
me
for the
shit
black
about no
woman, huh?
motherfucking prison shit or how court works. Nigga, sit your ass down. You was smoking. He was doing dog food, y'all. With the dog. He probably was down on the ground, too. Dog was eating its food and he was injecting his.
Oh, mind your own fucking business. But I'm gonna tell you, I've never been on OnlyFans. I've never done.
Okay, correction. She ain't never been on OnlyFans. Well, why did she even bring that up? Because the two other girls that I know of, I ain't really checking on them, but I don't think they got OnlyFans, but whatever.
Maybe porn. I've never talked about sex with men unless we're talking about health.
And also, most people on OnlyFans ain't, over here on some religious shit, part-time and then a whore in other times. Like, bitch, what?
Like family and marriage and how you should make love to your to make love to your husband.
Like, I'm sure, I'm not even listening to this bitch at this time. I'm just letting her talk a little bit, right? Because she just sounds dumb as hell. But, I want to go back because she said something crazy as hell and I meant to highlight this and I forgot. Listen, y'all. She about to say making love to children and then correct it real quick. That was crazy. I just heard her say it. Hold on.
Sex with men unless we're talking about health, like family and marriage and how you should make love to your children.
Y'all heard that? We got to go back.
I've never done any porn. I've never talked about sex with men unless we're talking about health, like family and marriage and how you should make love to your children.
Exactly. That's on your mind, bitch. Hold up. Fuck all this behind the screen shit right now. Lately I smoke weed and I smoke hempettes or whatever. It's a CBD, you know what I'm saying, cigarette or whatever. It has no nicotine in it, but I don't want to like smoke online or whatever if I can help it. And plus, it do kind of help me behind the scenes to, stay, calm or whatever. Because I'm telling you, I'm a firecracker like the 4th of July. But anyway, child, did y'all hear that? Hold on, let's go back one more time because I know I heard it. Hold on.
You standing outside any porn shops with picket signs. You want to go for the black woman, huh? These hoes. Mind your own fucking business. But I'm going to tell you, I've never been on OnlyFans. I've never done any porn. I've never talked about sex with men unless we're talking about health, like family and marriage and how you should make love to your children.
Wow. That to me is crazy. Like, for real? Wow.
Make love to your husband.
You don't never, like, people don't just fuck up and say that shit. She said, make love to your children. Bruh, that wasn't on accident. That was not on accident.
Picket signs. You want to go for the black woman, huh? These hoes. Mind your own fucking business. But I'm going to tell you, I've never been on OnlyFans. I've never done any porn. I've never talked about sex with men unless we're talking about health, like family.
That's a lie, because you was sending motherfuckers your nudes, so obviously sex was the topic. But listen.
And marriage and how you should make love to your children, make love to your husband.
That wasn't on accident. That was not on accident. You did not just say that on accident. I'm petty as hell. Let's just listen to that one more time.
I've never talked about sex with men unless we're talking about health, like family and marriage and how you should make love to your children, make love to your husband.
Now, I done messed up before, right? I was doing a video on people going to court or whatever in this case, in another case, right? This was a couple of years ago. And instead, I was talking in my video and I was like, I got to bring my kids to court. But what I really meant to say was to school. But because I was saying, I got to bring my kids. I was trying to say, I got to bring my kids to school because, you know what I mean? But I wanted to hurry up and get this video out. You know what I'm saying? I was recording it while they were getting ready because they had missed the bus or whatever. So I said court instead of school, and I like laughed it off or whatever, and then I made my correction after the fact. But that's very different from saying making love to your children where you meant to say your husband. That is suspect as fuck to me. And that's why I don't trust you ultimately. Like, you're weird as fuck.
I've never talked about sex with men to entice men or arouse men. Now you get yourself together, sisters.
Exactly, Blackberry.
Who is going to join with me? I don't care if it's one person, two people, or none.
Oh, I'm definitely going to remix it. I forgot it was in here because like I said, I was up doing a lot of shit or whatever, researching into shit or whatever that's been sent in. And then at like about, I don't know, like an hour before I went live, I was like, oh shit, what NAPAH said. So I had to hurry up and throw this together really quick. And then, you know what I'm saying, wait for it to render because it has to do its thing so it can actually be a video. And that takes time or whatever. And I had just forgot, but it was on my mind and I actually made a note about it, and that was weird. I'm glad that it stopped there because I did want to point that out.
I'm gonna keep going. This is not going to end. I am going to continue to fight against you filthy sexual predators.
Now, do you believe her when she said she finna continue to fight for kids? And she was just talking about making love to children?
It's not okay to call a sister a whore or to put up sisters' pictures and laugh at sisters.
I will, Pastor. You funny as hell. I love Faith Evans. I always get that, though. They always say that. Salute to Faith Evans.
Because you couldn't get them, or because you don't like them. Peace to the dark minds of the light.
So, all right, now we finna take a look. I just want to say this really quick because NAPAH is gonna come up in this, and I will share the link to this video so that, you know, people can view it on their own or whatever. I don't know how many times I'm gonna stop it, but I'm gonna really just fall back and listen. Also, because I was kind of during certain parts of this, we're actually gonna start at 23 minutes because that's kind of where SOLARMIND comes on. But oh, was it 23 minutes? It was somewhere up in here. Okay. All right. So hold on. Yeah, and then he's
part debater says,
all right, so I'm gonna start it right around over here, whatever. Shout out to these brothers that are going in this situation. They asking questions. At first they're just hearing them out, but this one down here, shout out to him, Black. Shout out to him. I'm sorry, my people is talking outside. It kind of threw me off. Shout out to him right here. He had a mask, and I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if it's a green screen mask or if it's just a mask that light up like that, but he has an issue with it. So, you know, and then Taz went up there. I know some people don't like Taz or whatever. I'm not in that shit. I don't know really what happened with the situation to weigh in, and I'm on this situation right now. In reality, that's not even what my channel kind of talks about, I don't think. But I think this video is important and it was requested, so I like to, you know, follow up with requests or whatever, as well as also help circulate the channel. Now, I'm subscribed to this channel. I also want to state, disclaimer, that I've only watched like 2 videos from this channel, so I don't know these people, but they do seem to be, you know, rationally minded. They do seem to be coming from the heart. I imagine that at least some of these men are fathers or at least uncles, and stuff like that. So it's important for men in any community to hold one another accountable, especially because it seems like there was some past history with SOLARMIND and these men, and they didn't know about this until Saneter had said something. And yesterday I gave, you know, kudos or whatever to Saneter for speaking out in this situation. However, I did question the fact that this only came out because of this polite situation and the fact that SOLARMIND went on Moorish World TV and exposed Saneter and NAPAH. So in this video, you know, he's gonna talk about his charges, talk about things that he did not talk about in the other video that I posted on my other channel, where there's no picture, but it's just words in the little, you know, the little avatar or whatever, that say Queen's Throne. But I think that this is important or whatever. I did appreciate this. However, I did not agree with everything that was said in this. Like, but I do need to also understand that this was 17 years ago. Now, I'm not saying that, again, yesterday I said that, you know, I don't believe that sex offenders can turn shit around. However, there's some other parts in here that I don't think people had known about. And he did speak a little bit more than what he spoke on Moorish World TV about it. Because, again, these men were holding them to the fire. Like, what's cracking, bro? But it does in the beginning, you know, come off like kind of, you know, I don't know, like he was just going to go in there and explain some shit away. But it is important to note that it's been 17 years and he has not had a repeat offense, but that doesn't mean that he's not still doing some type of behavior. But the fact that he hasn't had a similar offense in 17 years is important. However, I won't pull up for SolarMind. I don't like the way that he did threaten a child. I don't like how long he was in the house when he explains the story with the little girl. A lot can happen in 10 minutes. But with no further ado, because I could just talk y'all ass off before I share it. And this is 2 hours and 53 minutes, but we did speed it up to about the 20-minute mark. So with no further ado, let's take a look at this. Again, this is the Argument League. I did share the link. I'll share it again. And you guys can just, have it in your search bar or just sub to the channel and come right back. But I do respect their take on it. And I appreciate that they clarified it in a timely manner. They, brought him up. I appreciate that he came up and talked about it. I will be respectful and say that. However, you still got too many questionable acts. For me, I'm a mother and I'm also an advocate for women and children, most women and all children. But yeah, so let's get it.
All the top debaters called you and told you they don't want me to judge them. Let me judge all the subpart debates. How about that? All the subpart debates, all the newcomers. I judge their debates. Since all the seasoned folk feel like it's a conspiracy, that it's some bias.
That'd be a whole nother thing. That'd be a whole nother can of worms right there, brother.
Don't nobody want DJ Black Child judging the debate. That's fucked up.
I see a complaint about to happen already. With that.
Hey, yeah, that's it. So we had I figure a few debaters, more people.
I think they about to get into it. I forgot. I thought it was 23 minutes, but I'll just play it from here because it's like they were kind of just talking and stuff like that in the beginning.
Here's just gonna jump on. So that's it. Okay. He said before I come up there and get y'all to it, shout out to Taz Exclusives, man. The Rook, the GOAT in the building. So yeah, let's get to it. We got SolarMind in the building, man.
Okay, here we go.
We got accusations. But we have paperwork. So this will be an honest build. Honest build, right?
Yeah.
This is not scripted, right? This is not, manufactured or produced in any way. We haven't created any papers or nothing like that. Nobody has any lines, man. Y'all be able to tell this is organic. We're calling it a shucklebuck, a hound session. That's what we can get to the matter at point so that we can get off this distraction and back on Polite's ass. Because they're definitely going to use anything they can as a distraction.
That's right.
But we and y'all, we got y'all back, though. We got y'all back. So, Blue is here. Yahukanan here. A9 here. And I'm here. Anybody would like to start it off? Anything that y'all would like to ask?
I think it might be good
yeah, I'm about to say if you start off just breaking everything down, if you tell your side of things,
that's what I was gonna say. Let's let him go ahead and get started.
Man, let's get a mic to you. Everybody, open your
how many
ears.
People we got in the building? How many people we got in the building right now?
We got 50 at this point.
Somebody go tell somebody. Somebody go tell somebody to go tell somebody. Because I'm gonna let
everybody go tell two people.
After we do this is it. I don't want to hear nothing else. This it. Right? And then we after everybody else.
Now, hold on. I do have an issue also with NAPAH because she called them the pedophile league. I also believe that she also included FOPE league, and I don't know them firsthand or whatever, but from at this point, I would say no. And I'm actually upset that she called all these men pedophiles because it's weird though. She sat on the information and they addressed it right away. They didn't, pussyfoot around. They didn't wait days, months, years like Saneter and them did on the information with SOLARMIND. Now, one could say that they only did that because, people were talking about Saneter, waiting and not, acting and holding people accountable or whatever. But I really feel like the main motive behind this was genuine. It was from the heart. They wanted to see what was going on with him, hold him accountable. You know what I'm saying? And I think that NAPAH is wrong for calling them the pedophile league. Whether I deal with religion or not, I understand that people could still be cool and, have a religion or whatever. I'm not throwing all that out. But I just don't know. Like, it's just weird as hell. It's just weird. That's a whole nother video though. But I don't know. It's just weird. So I feel like NAPAH is bullshit as fuck. She's not a victim. And then to just call them a pedophile league because they want to find out what's going on with them. And some of them are probably still going to support SOLARMIND and some are not. Or they going to deal with them from a long distance just on the internet or whatever. But the fact that they came like the next day and talked about it, I commend them for that.
But we're gonna be transparent tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, well, as which y'all already know.
Yeah, I saw that video, education and learning.
From the allegations that has been surfacing on YouTube, is a lot of things.
If she did, I mean, she needs to get the help that she need. Israelite King, she definitely needs to go to counseling because as a survivor, I understand that some survivors that have not healed, they have not, while she talking about people being damaged up here, well, you're hypersexualized. And that is an issue. Now, if she was really raped, I would expect her to, actually look at the polite situation in a different way. That is very peculiar to me that she would, not side with the victim. Most rape situations, like, somebody that is a survivor will always go to the victim because they understand how it is to, maybe tell your story, or certain people don't believe you, or a group of people don't believe you, or whatever. And, they're still telling their story. I don't know. But the shit is crazy. I don't know.
Things that have been suggested about SOLARMIND pertaining to certain things that was done in the past. A lot of the charges was manipulated. We're going to deal with that today. And we also know that it's a very important issue in light of what's going on overall with the situation with Polite. So as what A9 and others already said countless times on this platform, it was serving as a distraction to dealing with what's going on here and now. So my record was brought up that it's something that occurred 17 years ago. I was in my 20s at the time. So I'm going to deal with the situation, and I'm going to allow them to come and ask me any question that they want. We actually I went up today to the courthouse, and I didn't want to make a statement until I actually have the court files, because I'm not going to be manipulating the charges. I'm actually get to what was said by both parties, because according to what is being said and the rumors that is being spread around me, being spread about me on social media, is that I exposed myself to a minor, that pulling my penis out to a minor, and all different types of stuff that was said about me. So I'm gonna lay down what actually happened, which is still a crazy story. And from there, we're gonna move on. We're gonna begin to go back into debating. We're gonna get back on Polite's ass, as what these brothers already were saying. So that's the purpose of this stream. Once again, I think that when you're dealing with this issue in itself is a very serious issue, and I think the weaponizing of it is taking away the credibility of the individuals presenting the information. I think that in these type of situations, we should be very transparent and honest, and forthcoming about the things that transpired, because this is a very, very serious issue that plagues our community today. So
I don't feel like he has a leg to stand on with bringing that up. I'm just saying, let me shut up.
With that being said, 17 years ago, it was a situation that occurred.
Now listen, y'all.
With my my sister's ex-husband now, they were in the process of getting divorced. So they were separated for a while. And my brother came up. He just got out of the military. He came up to Philadelphia from North Carolina. So I believe that my sister felt as though that would be a good.
I just want to make a disclaimer. I know, look, we're only hearing him out, okay? That's because when I posted the other video, he didn't talk about all this and all that. I'm not saying that he off the hook with me. I'm not fucking with him. But, you know, let's listen.
The opportunity to get the rest of her things from the house that they were staying in. Her ex-husband was still staying at the house at the time. So when he got there, there was an issue because she was getting the rest of her things. I guess he seen the writing on the wall and that it was real. Maybe it was efforts to try to get her to stay. I'm not really clear on exactly as to what escalated the situation. It was also suggested that my brother had somebody with him in the car. That he was one of his friends from the military that he was actually dropping off in New Jersey. So it was assumed that my sister was with him or something to that degree, and it turned into an altercation. And eventually my brother stepped into the altercation. It turned into a fight. And a knife was brought out in the fight. And my brother-in-law at the time, he tried to stab my brother in the neck. It skinned his neck and it hit him in his arm. So that was an issue at the time. I was in Florida. And I think my mom initially told me about the situation. And so I called my sister and, you know, she confirmed the situation and, you know, called my brother. And so when I got back up there, you know, I called him. I said, when I get back up there. And I really like to hide, not hide, but just I move forward from my past. And, you know, when you see me on
I would say that he hit it because in these situations, if you're not hiding it, you should tell people. I'm just saying. No matter how embarrassing it is. I mean, it wasn't embarrassing, you know, I'm just saying 9 times out of 10, it ain't embarrassing when these people commit these crimes, but it's embarrassing afterwards to admit that they committed these type of crimes. But let's hear him out.
When you see me on social media today, y'all have an image of me. I wasn't that individual then, you know. So he knew
he gonna get into
how I get down. He knew, you know, I gets busy. He knows that. So he knew that when I was coming up there.
I got Hassan Campbell vibes from that. When he said how I get busy, you know how I give it up.
And that was going to be something that he's going to have to deal with. So when I got up there, I was looking for him.
Facts, Manny.
For maybe about a week and a half, I was looking for him. So I went to his then grandmother's house, and you know, his kids stayed there, and it was his daughter and his son was there when I got there. And so I went into the house. I was looking for him. He wasn't in there. So I went outside and I called him. And I said a lot of crazy things, a lot of things that eventually implicated myself. You got to remember, this situation changed my life. This is a very serious issue. And so the decision that I made, you know, which was a very bad decision, which was I called and I made a lot of threats to his children. Made a lot of threats to his children. I said some nasty things. Yes, it was sexual things that I said. I said some things that I was going to do, kill his son, and, you know, said a lot of crazy stuff. So he would call the police. And when I was outside, the police would pull up. And so I would be arrested.
Y'all comments is funny as hell.
My statement at the precinct, and eventually had to deal with it going forward in the trial. So this is me telling my side of the story. Now, according to what was said by the statement that they have on the record, his daughter says that.
Now, mind you, it's his sister's, about to be ex-husband, but it's his daughter, the ex-husband's, about to be ex-husband's daughter.
What actually happened was, I came into the house. She was doing the dishes. She said that I grabbed her buttocks and I was grinding on her.
Now, the fact that he keeps looking over to the side, like unless he has notes over there, that body language indicates that he's not comfortable, that he's sugarcoating the story a little bit to me. I'm just saying my opinion.
What she said. She said that she ran out the house. She said that I ran after her. And then she said that she turned around.
Facts, Alicia.
And matter of fact, let me get the actual report.
Now, when he shows this report, you're not going to be able to read it. That's what I'm saying. Like, he needs to put it in a form to where we could read it ourselves.
She said that,
and I'm calling you out on that, SOLARMIND. I want to be able to read the paperwork that you have. You need to find a way to either scan it in and, you know what I'm saying, or upload it to your Gmail and let us read it. I want to see. You're not finna hold up some paperwork and then just be like, all right, I'm done.
I chased her out the house. She turned around and she went back in the house.
I'm going to show you that you're not going to be able to read it. But I'm sure you guys already would imagine that.
She locked the door. She said that I tried to open the door, according to the police report. And this, so this is all what this is right here. This is the report that.
Can't nobody read this. What? And this is on the big screen. We can't read this. I want to be able to read it.
This is her statement that she made.
Can anybody in the chat read what that report says?
This is the statement that was actually made here. So
I mean, and I'm saying that to say that he knew he was being called up here. He could have easily screenshot them or, you know, took a picture of them, whatever, scanned them in, and then had it so that we could actually look for ourselves.
So she said she came back in the house and then she locked the door. She said that she would then call the police and eventually they would find me on the steps and I would be arrested. You know, so those were the two sides of the story. This would actually go to trial. In the preliminary hearing, they began to, so I want to say this. This is where all the charges come from. So the charges of indecent assault, the indecent assault charge would be me allegedly grinding on her, as what she said in the statement. And, you know, the grabbing of the buttocks would be the corruption of the minor. And so the false imprisonment will be, well, I really don't know what exactly the implications, because she said she ran out the house. So those would be the charges. In the preliminary hearing, she was questioned by the judge. And as she began to state her case, as what was stated in this document, the judge began to ask her questions about the statements that she made. I think that the story began to fall apart when the judge asked her, well, if he grabbed your buttocks, if he grinded on you and you were running out the house, how did you get back in the house? So she said that she turned around and went back in the house. So the judge said, well, did you go past him? Did you turn around and go past him? She said, yes, I turned around and went past him. Then she asked him, the judge asked her, well, were you afraid of him? And at first she said, yeah. And then he was like, well, why would you turn around and walk towards him if you were afraid of him? And then, you know, it turned to a back and forth. It was interrogating, and it was like, you know, putting pressure on her. And then she said in a statement, well, really, he was coming after my father. She said something along those lines. And so after both people made their statement in the court, all those charges was dropped, except for the simple assault. So the indecent assault, the reckless endangerment, the simple assault, the corruption of the minors, all those charges was dropped as a result of, you know, the preliminary hearing. I went to court, the follow-up, to challenge the simple assault charge. And I believe that the judge that actually posted my bail, he was the judge then, and for I don't know what type of rules that they have pertaining to the that, but he was unable, because he was about to throw even the simple assault charge out. But I guess it's some type of rule that they have, whereas though the person that posted the bail can't be the one to actually deal with the case, so they had to postpone it. At the time, I had a public defender, and eventually I would just take the simple assault charge, and that required a 2 years probation. Never was a sex offender, never had to take no classes.
Now I'm wondering why on that other paperwork that Saneter and them showed, did it say that he can't be around, you know, his niece and his nephew? Saneter and them were lying when they said that he can't be around any child, and it did say that he was being supervised under the sex offender probation unit type of thing. So some of what he's saying is not making sense. And also remember that this is a man that he had issues with. He allegedly had, you know, attempted to stab his brother in the neck and did some type of damage. So obviously he would be angry, but would he be angry enough to actually put, you know, violate that child in a way to, you know, what some would say maybe revenge or whatever, which is not cool, period. But I'm just saying, I'm just making the point. Like, it's weird to me that he's going to state that he was in the house with the girl for 10 minutes. A lot can happen, especially if you're angry and you get down like that. He talking about the way that he give it up and all that. Was the way that you give it up to, you know, touch that child? Was there something factual behind that? If I had went through, I'm just saying, it's weird. The whole story to me don't make sense. He's still a predator, in my opinion. I'm not going to, you know, second guess. I don't know. It's just weird. I just wanted to say that.
So that was that situation. So in light of all the crazy things that was suggested, in this,
I believe she was 14, live long, 6
document, from the grabbing of the buttocks and the allegedly grinding, it was never the things that was being suggested by NAPAH, you know, or Rob and Saneter. They said that I pulled my penis out in front of a minor. You know, they said that I pulled my penis out in front of a minor. They said I was exposing myself in front of minors. She didn't even say that. She didn't even say that, even according to the document.
So if that's what the documents say, I would have went over and above to show that that's not what she said. Why can't we see those documents? Again, salute to the Argument League, you know, but I want to see them. I want to see what they say.
She didn't even say that. So all that stuff was made up. And like I said, this case got thrown out. Most of the charges, all the charges involving the minor was thrown out after both people made these statements. And then people look at
there is paperwork that states that he did something. Facts. We've looked at that twice.
Withdrawal.
This is the second time that we're looking into the third time. but the second time on this channel, but the third time total that I've looked into this SOLARMIND situation. I got his side once already. I got what Saneter and NAPAH brought, and now we're going back to his side since it was brought to my attention by the Argument League, who came here yesterday, whose video that we're watching, you know, wanted me to review this, look at it. He informed me of it.
No, say, well, withdrawal, just because you withdraw doesn't mean that you was not guilty, because just because the cases was withdrawn doesn't mean that you were found not guilty. There's two ways that can happen. One is lack of evidence that could go.
Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the Royal Family.
Either way, it could be lack of evidence because you're found innocent. It could be lack of evidence because you hid the evidence.
Yes, allegedly, Betty Boop, that's a different charge, allegedly. That's why, you know, I'm glad that I did upload on my other channel, which is also Queen's Throne, him talking about that charge, as well as now, like, was this kind of hidden? I don't know. We just here listening mainly today.
The person don't show up to court. These are the two ways that a thing could get withdrawn and a person still, you know, actually did the crime and it still get withdrawn. The evidence was the actual individual. She actually made the statements as to what I did that day. She showed up to court. So she showed up to court and she was the evidence. So the withdrawn was because the story didn't make sense according to the judges and the prosecutors. So they felt as though that it would be the best thing to drop those charges. So that was that situation. I guess I could open the floor for any questions. If anybody want to ask me any questions pertaining to the case, feel free to do so.
All right, here's where it starts to heat up a little bit. People is asking questions, they stating how they feel. You know, they just was hearing them out at first. Let's get it.
All right. My first question that I want to ask off top is the statement. She was the only witness to this event.
Well, this is the only statement that was released. I don't think I ever read this statement before. So
how would it be in your case and you didn't never read it? Again, I want to see that paperwork, SOLARMIND. Do not play with me. Because when I sit behind this computer and I get to looking up more shit on your ass, I don't want to find nothing that would make me have to come back here on you.
It was a younger brother there at the time as well. I don't know if he had.
No, he's really not. But I think the most important part of why I said that I appreciated that they did this is because, you know, they're going to hold him accountable towards the end and all that. People are like, you know, kind of agreeing with him and they still going to give him a pass or whatever. But I like for a duration of this, there is, you know, where people are like, nah, fam, nah, I ain't going. You feel what I'm saying? And salute to those brothers. And I hope that the people that do give him a pass are careful. You know what I'm saying? Going forward, I would never be pulling up for nothing that SOLARMIND is doing. You know what I'm saying? Just solely, no.
The statement, but this is all that was pulled up. I actually made a statement as well that is not on here. They didn't even put my statement as to what happened on here. So it's only her statement that was found on the court records.
And I feel like there's probably paperwork missing then. Or he intentionally just left that out or whatever.
Okay. And like you said, this was 17 years ago. Is it, because I can imagine the way you tell it, you know, you were outside, you were on the phone, and you're sitting here waiting on this dude. After threatening him, you thought he was going to pull up. And then the police pulls up and they arrest you. When was the first time you heard about the groping charges and stuff like that? Was it told to you that actual day?
Yeah, but it was told to me. I guess they was trying to actually not reveal to me her statement. So they was just asking me what happened. The police was asking me what happened. And they wanted to get my side of the story. I don't think that they want to reveal to me exactly what she was saying.
Well, in the beginning of the case, you would not know what the victim is stating until you get the motion of discovery. And then you should have gotten depending on how big the case is, a little packet of some, paperworks, with pictures or whatever information they have in the case. Certain things about the victim may be redacted, mean taken away or covered up, like address or whatever, the full name, just to protect the witness. The victim or witnesses.
It really wasn't until when I got home that my sister, she was saying, well, did you grab her? And I was like, no, I didn't grab her. And then it was my mother and my brother. They actually took like, yo, she's saying that she was like grinding on her and you grabbed her butt and shit. So I'm like, nah, I ain't do none of that shit. So it wasn't really until they actually told me,
Mm-hmm.
And then so yeah, that's how I really found out exactly what she was saying. That was through my side of the family.
Okay, and then I guess the elephant in the room, because this would actually be the whole gist of the case. From your side, were the threats made on the phone to the kids. That's the heavy part.
Yeah.
And I know you're not proud of it. And I could tell the way you're talking about it, you don't even really want to vocalize that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I see you trying to be transparent, but it to me, honestly, everybody got their own opinion, but it seems like you kind of embarrassed about it.
Oh, definitely. The whole situation now, looking back on it. I mean, really, that situation changed my life. Like, far as the charges, employment, what I was trying to do, I was trying to go to college, a lot of stuff that I was trying to do that got thwarted, even though the charges was dropped, as what they're doing now. You can see that on the record. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a very thing, that is being rehashed now. And it's being weaponized.
A very what thing? It isn't being weaponized because people that are close in your circle should have known about this. Like, again, we shouldn't be tripping about all charges, you know what I mean? And it is good that he does not have no same or similars. So I want to be, at least give him that. But he shouldn't have had none to begin with, start with at all. But I don't want to tip him so that he reoffend or react out, and you know what I mean? I'm just saying, because motherfucker will say you bullying them, but I'm not buying his story. But again, in a minute, this male down here is going to speak, and others are going to speak. Right now, they just kind of hearing him out a little bit.
So really, I'm looking at it from a lot of perspectives. There's really nothing that they can do that this didn't do worse in my real life. You know what I'm saying? So, it's very embarrassed about the situation, and even with all the charges. When they were showing my whole jacket, embarrassed about all the charges, even the stuff that people glorify. The stuff
glorified,
shooting at people and pistol whipping. Y'all see how I conduct myself here on Solar Vision Debate League.
But that could be an act. Anybody could act like they're, in a good headspace or whatever for the time being online.
And I don't even conduct myself like that. I don't want people to know that about me. I'm very ashamed.
And that's probably why you conducted yourself in a different manner, so that later on, looking back, I'm just saying.
About that aspect of my life, tried to move forward from it. I'm an older man now, and I wanted to, face it. I'm willing to stand in the fire about the things that I did do, and those things. It was wrong what I did. Either way, that was wrong for me to do that. So that mistake that I made, I paid for it. Make no doubt about it. I paid for that mistake.
What do you mean by Fly Boys? Paperwork is only facts and proof. Let's be fair. I feel like I am being fair, but obviously it's only facts and proof, so that's what we going off of. but we can't see his paperwork. He held it up like we could read what was on the screen. You need to rewind a little bit. I want to look at the paperwork. If I have to get it myself, then I'm going to be irritated. But I do commend him for, you know, coming here, even with how I'm not buying the story. At least he didn't hide. I thought he was hiding at first.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he did hide. But when he was called out by Saneter recently, which, again, Saneter and NAPAH both sat on this information for a while. So I side-eyed them for that as well. That makes them look fucked up. But SOLARMIND, he could have been, if it was only this and it was, you know, all fucked up or whatever, then you wouldn't have been in this community for all these years and hiding your charges, and you're still deflecting.
And
Salute to everybody in the chat. Much love. Thank you for coming and kicking it with us for the time being.
there was no classes.
No, there was no classes on that charge. No, there was no classes.
So, again, where do the classes come from? Now, obviously, his nieces and nephews could have been stipulated in there because of the accusation, but was that removed at the finalization of, you know what I mean, this case? Because if you get charged with something, I don't know if he bailed out or whatever, but, you know, even after a case, they put stipulations, but they also put stipulations if they, you know, you bailed out or whatever, or you got some type of court agreement for you to be released. They'll put stipulations in there like stay away from drugs, we can UA you gotta go to this class, you can't be around children, you can't be on the internet, whatever, you know what I mean?
That's
You
crazy.
can't contact this victim or that victim.
Crazy as fuck. And there was no sex offender registry. It wasn't. It never
Nah.
even.
Nah, it wasn't no sex offender registry. There was no classes. Yeah, you know, so 2 years probation.
And that doesn't mean that his crime wasn't, you know what I mean, heinous, because in reality, we already know that victim, like, when children are involved, that does not always tip the scale to you're going to get a long ass time in jail or whatever. Oftentimes, they just want to hurry up and get the case done, get some money out of it, and move on to the next. Plea deals and all that. He definitely took a plea deal.
The floor is open. Anybody else want to ask a question?
Here we go.
Yeah, I want to ask a couple of.
Was there any?
When the police pulled up, when the police pulled up, was it any type of confrontation? Wasn't no confrontation when the police pulled up?
Well,
I mean, like, was it like, come in, sir, and then she came in, everybody was calm, and like the neighbors, it wasn't no fiasco about the situation?
well, she never came outside. The cops pulled up. It wasn't like they had the sirens on. So the cops
So
pulled
it was
up.
a whole silent. It was
Yeah,
silent.
the cops
silence.
the cops just pulled up, and I'm looking at the cop car, and it wasn't until like it got like maybe a couple of houses down that I'm like, is they about to? And then that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh shit. So I couldn't do nothing at that time. Like it was just like I'm thinking that it's just gonna ride up the block and keep going, but it was like I'm like, oh, they're slowing down and shit. So I'm like, and yeah. So he got out the car. So I'm like, yeah, like what's up, you know? So he told me to come in, and you know.
And when y'all went to court, they didn't have none of the neighbors there. Not any other neighbors there. Like when y'all went to court, like the people that like how the detectives try to go see who else heard it or seen it and shit like that, and stuff like that. They ain't have no neighbors there when
I'm not sure if any neighbors. I didn't see it. But in that time, from what I can remember,
no. In this video, he did not admit to wrongdoings with that child. He claims that he never touched that child. He, asked her where her dad was and went around the house looking for her dad. However, the child, he says in the report, never said that. But where did that come from?
I think it was nobody outside. Then I think that was in.
And it did say sex offender on his paperwork. Now, I did look him up, and from what I could find, I can't find any history of him actually being on the sex offender registry. One thing I'm not sure of, and I'm mad that I'm just finding this out, is I don't know whether after, because sometimes a predator or somebody that is labeled a sex offender will have to register for life. Sometimes they'll have to register for a few years, 10, 15, whatever, whatever. There's different categories or whatever. So I don't know if after the fact, if all that's deleted. We do need to remember that these charges are 17 years old. So if that is the case, that they're deleted after he comes off the sexual offender registry, then there may be no record of that. However, if he was with the internet, there should be at least something. So I do want to, scrub and see if I can find anything more.
Early afternoon, maybe like around 12.
But when I looked up, his name, I found a white man. So obviously that's not him. Also on sex offender registries, the sex offender has to take pictures like every so often. So there should be numerous pictures. If he was on there, there would be numerous pictures of him over that 17-year period of however long he had to register.
Something like that. But
I'm not reaching, Fly. I'm really not. I'm going off of the paperwork. Obviously, you didn't see yesterday's live stream where it said in the live stream, we even stopped. I made it big on the screen where Saneter had shown the paperwork that said that he was being supervised by the sex offender unit of probation. Nobody's reaching. Yes, they did. You need to go watch the video. You're probably a troll. It's cool. I'm not finna argue with you. The people that were here yesterday, the people that know what is going on, they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fly Boys, are you SOLARMIND?
I don't think that it was anybody that made statements according
Yes, they need to check in monthly, but they only need to get their picture taken. I think it's every 6 months.
my recollection.
But it might be different for every state. But
you
it
know.
is often, and they go do checks and all that. Like some states on Halloween, because that is a big time for sex offenders to reoffend, because children are essentially walking up to doors and they can easily just grab them or coax them in their house. There are the sex offender, unit of probation and also parole will go to the parolee's house and verify that they're there, verify that they're not drunk, walk around, make sure there's no kids there, and they do that at random.
I was trying to look up all the
like on things like Halloween, but Halloween is the big one.
documents to see who all made statements.
But just randomly, any other day.
Came up. So,
and the dude didn't want to get at you, like say for instance,
let's keep the question.
You come looking for me, and then you harm my child. The dude.
That's facts. That's facts. No nonsense. Stucky said you could read the paperwork that Saneter showed clearly, and that is a fact. So like how Saneter showed that paperwork and we could read it clearly, I want to see the paperwork that SOLARMIND had shown in the beginning. If we're gonna be transparent with it, let's be transparent. I want to read through it myself.
And try to get back at you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you hanging around.
Of course there's two cases. He already talked about one and he's talking again. I don't normally give predators all this room to talk and all this and that, period. If you are a fanboy or whatever of SOLARMIND, then you might want to locate his channel and go there and support him.
My house, nigga, you know what I'm saying? The dude they try to get like fuck the police and all
And
that.
he's gonna talk about the chick in the library as well. That's where the sex in public comes in. But there was also threats that were made to a minor. The minor allegedly, in some type of paperwork, claims that he grabbed her or whatever. So that's what we're looking at. Again, if you have a problem, you don't have to be here. But salute.
That shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting at your ass now, bro. Like, it's back. I'm back at you.
And see, that's another thing, Freedom Green. Basically, in this one, he doesn't say that it was a child involved in the library situation. He said it was an adult.
Because you came to my house.
Well,
I believe escalate to that level.
I believe that it was statements made, but not to be on some crazy, but he knew, like, I had a reputation.
Okay.
You see my charges, like, he really did not want that. And
Yeah, but I think we have been fair. Again, I'm not trying to disrespect you at all. We can agree to disagree. But I think in all reality, I've shown that already what he said and all that. I've been patient. I've been respectful in this situation. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, he still is not trustworthy to be a leader. He should not be around children. But I do commend him for, again, not getting those same and similars in those 17 years. I'm just saying, I'm good. I was good on the threats of a child or whatever being brought up, or the having sex in the library and all this and that. Like, I get it. I guess the thrill of doing something like that would be probably amazing or whatever. And I ain't trying to be a prude, but I'm just saying, like, that's just a little bit too much, especially with the blinds open or whatever. I'm just saying. But he could have equally gotten that same charge if he had sex outside, like he was getting head or whatever outside or whatever, or in a car.
So it was other people, like in a family, in his family, that's, think that they can, see me. It was they made statements, but nobody never came to me.
So I mean, and y'all, everybody, you were young, whatever. So did it just like in your neighborhood? Is it all done with now? Or niggas still trying to get at you about that shit?
You talking about today?
Yeah, today, in today's time, like folk grown, they older now, or whatever, they feel like you shouldn't have beat up.
We don't know the facts though, Fly Boys. We don't know the facts. We know what he said, and we know what the paperwork said from Saneter. Again, I want to see his paperwork from him, which would probably be more than what Saneter has. So if it could, help him out in what he's saying, it's weird that he didn't show that. Nobody's here lying on him. I just want the truth. I want to get down to, did he do it or not? You know what I mean? All that. But based off of how he's responding, how he's acting, his body language in this video, I'm not buying the story. There's issues. There's holes in it.
They uncle or cousin or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't. I mean, remember.
You know what, Fly Boys? You can just sit somewhere else, honestly. Like, I'm good. Maybe I'm just gonna put you on timeout. Maybe after that you can, chill or whatever. Again, if you wanna, ride from his coattail or whatever, I don't play that shit. I'm a survivor of, you know what I'm saying, not only abuse, but sexual abuse. So no, fuck what you're saying. That's trash, period. So again, this is my channel, and I will do what I want on this motherfucker. I've given him more time to speak than, most other situations, and been far more respectful than I do normally. So back your ass up.
Yeah, that was like 17 years ago. So at the time, like, my nephew was in the other room. He was a
Right.
baby at the time.
Right, Alicia.
So, all these individuals now grown now. That was in the
Did you have any weapons on
you? Yeah.
Well, since she's grown, maybe we should locate that little girl at one time and ask her side of the story. Maybe.
Okay. It wasn't no gun or nothing like that, but
Okay, any other questions, Blue?
Oh, my bad. Well, Blue good.
Yeah.
May I go after Blue?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Did you have any physical contact at any point with his daughter?
Nah.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
I actually,
Wait till the dude with the mask is to ask her questions.
when they was interrogating her in the courtroom, and I was like, yeah, shouldn't it be like some type of...
Correct. I know that he got 2 years probation. This right here, the Argument League, this is whose video we're watching right now. I'm going to drop the link again. I've already done so twice. This will be the third time. So you can check out his channel or whatever. I did say earlier that I respected the fact that these, Kings was up here speaking to him, asking him questions. I did find it, valid and stuff like that, that we need to look at how he did go up there in a quick manner and speak on it. I'm not really buying his story. He's still a no-go for me. However, I do respect the mind of the channel holder over there, the Argument League. And again, I am subscribed, you know, I'm aware that obviously SolarMind won't be on every, you know, thing or whatever, and that wouldn't necessarily be a deal breaker. I'd still check out the channel, but as far as SolarMind's material, I would not be there for that. I'm just being real, but I do like how he was held accountable, and it ain't even really started yet. You know what I mean? He's just talking about stuff. They, you know, thinking of questions right now or whatever. I'm telling you, but when this one right here come up, I feel that though. I feel a lot of what was said up here. So salute to them. They got on it.
Evidence, if the statements was
Nah,
made,
it's no criticism from me on the argument league. My bad. The coffee ain't started yet, man. I woke up late and all that. But it's all directed towards him, not y'all, not the other people on the panel.
like some type of fingerprints or some type of shit that you can actually pull up, and they just to shut me up, you know, because when she made the statement, I'm like,
Now, my question is, how old was this girl?
at the time she was 14.
14. So my question would be, why would a girl 14 make up a story of you, I guess, grabbing her buttocks or grinding on her?
I mean, and then the fact that he was already mad at the man, would he have tried that? You know what I'm saying? I know he wasn't charged with it. I'm not trying to put no extra on him. I'm just saying, making him aware that something ain't right.
I really don't know exactly the reason why.
Again, Argument League, I had said this a couple of times. I don't think that you were here, but when, you know, he had shown his paperwork, obviously we couldn't really read it. So could you, you know, maybe send a message to SolarMind that maybe he could scan those documents in and show them in a live, or take a picture of them or whatever, send them through email or something like that. Y'all could do that y'allself, or I want to see them. I want to be able to read them because I wasn't able to see them. But no, it's nothing towards you. I think you guys did a good job. I had spoke already that NAPAH calling you guys the predator league or the pedophile league, I thought that was trash. When you guys are standing on his neck and they failed to call this out for years, months, whatever. So.
Why? But according to the case,
that magic number 14.
She said that she knew that I was coming to see her father. She knew that I was coming to see her father. And so according to the statements that was made, I can only say that I believe that she lied about it because of what I may do to her father.
Now, well,
to be honest, that could be the case. The father could have, you know what I mean, told her to say that. That could be. However, I'm still riding with, you know what I mean, the alleged victim in this case.
Say this. Did she overhear the conversation with you and her father on the phone?
I'm not sure. That could be the reason why she locked the door. And I was saying, like, you know, either that or he called her and told her to lock the door.
Now, this was 17 years ago, so your memory could be very vague.
Here we go.
So you might not remember every detail.
This is the part I like.
Now, is it possible that maybe you made some kind of threats of doing maybe some illicit things to his children? And maybe
I did make those threats.
So now?
I did make those threats.
So you did make illicit threats?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is it possible that maybe she's got that idea from, maybe she overheard the threats that you were making?
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible that she heard. Like I said,
or maybe she got afraid of having to testify. A lot of, you know, and I'm not saying that he, you know what I'm saying, raped the child or whatever, but inappropriate communication with a teenager is always suspect. But maybe she just felt uncomfortable about, you know, testifying. They often will give a plea if that is the case, you know, because essentially they would have to live whatever they felt that day. And think about it, a 14-year-old girl could easily be afraid of that man or any man that they know is mad at their father. There's been knives involved in all this and that. So even if, you know, she just took it as a threat and there was no sexual thing, she's still a victim in my eyes, because that could traumatize her. That gives her an impression of what men do or what men are capable of. You know what I'm saying? It could be a learning experience, but it could also be something that she thinks about when she's older, or how she felt. You know what I mean?
She may have locked the door because she heard what I was saying, or that he may have called her and told her to lock the door.
Yeah, that, that man, he said he was gonna do such and such. You know, motherfuckers get scared, especially when
I'm gonna go.
like
I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else have
teenagers.
some time. I need to hear some more questions.
Damn, my shit messing up.
My bad. Go ahead. Who else want to answer?
What's up, y'all? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, big dog. A9 is in the building. Y'all brought into the building. Taz is now in the building. A9, go ahead.
Now, somebody said something about how Taz feels about it. He's down here, so he is going to speak on it.
Yeah,
See
peace
what
to
he
the
say.
panel. Shout out to you, Suave. Peace to you, SOLARMIND. Hey, man, it's a hound session, so I don't know.
It's him talking right here, right now.
What the fuck y'all doing?
Yeah, ain't nobody
Did you hear what he said? He said, this is a hound session. I don't know what the fuck y'all doing. Listen.
Building. Y'all brought into the building. Taz is now in the building. A9, go ahead.
Yeah, peace to the panel. Shout out to you, Suave. Peace to you, SOLARMIND. Hey, man, it's a hound session, so I don't know what the fuck y'all doing.
Yeah, ain't nobody trying to hear that chopping it up shit, man. So since nobody in there, I get it. So here's my question.
I think A9 just tried to go in.
Oh, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
I'm ready to go, and they should be.
Go ahead, fam.
Yeah, I ain't trying to hear, like, I'm be honest, but I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. So first off, so the allegation then is that you a pedo, right?
Here we
Right?
go.
So they saying you a pedo. So my question is, what makes me think you not a pedo if you in the house with a 14-year-old?
In that order.
Why you in there? Why you in that situation, bro?
Like I said, when I went in there, I was looking for a father. So yeah.
So
that's why I was in the house.
So you kicked in the door? Like you pulled up, just kicked in the door, goon man?
No. I actually knocked on the door and she let me in.
Let me clarify. That wouldn't have been funny if he did that, but just the way that he said it.
So you just so she let you in, you come in, you look around, you go outside, like what's happening? You grab her, you take her,
I feel that the argument league.
Yell her, what you do to her?
When I came in, I said, first it was, speaking, what's up, and then I was like, yeah, where your father at? And then she seen what I had some brass knuckles. She looked down and she seen my hand, and then she was like, she didn't say nothing. And then I walked, I was looking, I went upstairs, I looked, went downstairs, and then I asked again, where your father at? She didn't say nothing. And so then I went outside.
Exactly, Alicia. Once he realized that the father wasn't there, he should have left. That's facts. He could have also just knocked on the door and she answered it and asked for her father or whatever. It's a 14-year-old girl we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you just walked in, walked outside?
Yeah, like I said, when I went in, I asked her where her father was at.
Shout out to D-Town. Thank you for subscribing.
And then I looked to see, because she didn't say nothing. And I went through the house to see where he was at, or if he was in there. And when he wasn't in there, that's when I went outside.
And so when the police show up, where they take y'all? They take y'all down to the unit. They like what they do, some type of like victim, what they do?
Yeah, the police pulled up very casually. He just like kind of pulled up. So it was nothing that I could do. As he was pulling up, I just kind of slid the brass knuckles into the trash can. So he pulls up and he's like, yeah, like he was like, yeah, what you doing out here? And I'm like, yeah, nothing. I'm just waiting on somebody. And he's like, come here. And then he was like, yeah, So, did you do something to anybody? You know, because I got a call, and so I'm like, no, I didn't do nothing to nobody. And he said we're gonna have to take you down to the precinct, ask you some questions because being accused of something, you know. So he handcuffed me, and he puts me into the back of the car, and he takes me down to the police station.
And how long was you there before the police showed up?
I could say roughly maybe 15, 20 minutes.
And how much of that time was you out inside, and how much of that time was you outside?
I was in and out of the house, you know, so I could say that maybe a total of maybe 4 to 5 minutes that I went, you know, looking through the house. And you know, so
my bad. I thought he said 10 minutes, but a lot can even happen in 4 minutes.
I was sitting outside the rest of the time.
And so when she decided to close the door, that was it. You ain't try to get back in. You ain't do nothing.
Yeah, I tried to come back. I tried to get back in, but the door was locked.
So again, imagine how that 14-year-old girl felt as this is going on. She already seen the brass knuckles. She already knows that there's an issue with dude. She probably knew that there was, you know, an alleged stabbing of SOLARMIND's brother, you know, where his neck was grazed allegedly by some sharp object, right? Because he said that before. So she already knows that there's an issue there. Now, again, we don't know what happened in that house. I do want to see the paperwork, but I can see where, you know, the situation could be swayed a little bit. I'm, again, definitely not caping for him. The fact that, you know, this situation happened is fucked up, but I'm not buying his story. But to be fair, I do want to point those things out. Again, not caping for him. In my mind, I wouldn't let him around my children. I wouldn't promote him on my platform. But, you know, to each their own. I don't know their relationship. Again, I've only seen 2 videos from this channel holder. And again, this channel holder, the Argument League is not the one on trial here. It's SOLARMIND. But, you know, I do like the content that they bring. And even, you know, I won't pull up for religious stuff, but I support what they do. So I am subscribed. Just because you're subscribed does not mean that you have to pull up for every single thing. But from what I see right now, I support their platform. You know what I mean? And I pull up for whatever interests me.
So when you say you was in and out, how many
not SOLARMIND's
times did you go in?
That one time I was able to get in when they let me in.
So when you say in and out, like you,
Manny,
I mean, you went in and came out?
Yeah, I went in, I went through the house, and then I was out.
Oh, okay. And then so when they get you down, they book you, they do all of this. Like, and like Suave asked, like, at what time do you figure?
I don't know how much the bail was, or did he post? I did see a number on Saneter's paperwork that he had showed concerning SOLARMIND, and it said $10,000. Now I don't know if he posted bail or what in that situation, or what that number really was, but I did see the $sign and $10,000. So again, I want to see his paperwork.
Figure out that this is what's said about you.
Like I said,
but based off of bail, some of these people that even do harm children, either physically abuse them or sexually, they, you know what I mean, are let out of jail, you know, on low bonds. Oftentimes they need to fix the system. If the system is really going to be set up to protect children, then, you know, somebody that's selling drugs or doing other crimes should not get more time than somebody that's actually fucking with children or raping women or whatever. That should be looked at as more serious, especially a child. I think harming a child should be right up under you know, murder, attempted murder. It should be taken very serious, because anything that you do to a child's mind that's still forming is going to affect them for the rest of their life. I know survivors where they've been, you know, attacked or whatever. They've been molested, raped, whatever, and, you know, it has affected them throughout their life. My abuse, you know, that I endured affected me throughout my life. I just went and got help to deal with it. And one of my helps to deal with it is coming before the people and talking about this topic that a lot of people do not want to talk about. It's swept under the rug. A lot of people, even if they did, you know, put it behind them, quote unquote. I'm just saying it needs to be talked about. I've even looked at like predator sides of the story before. This isn't my first time doing this. You know what I mean? They were white predators too. They were talking about harming children and how they felt and all that in a predator's mind. So I'm just being real, but I'm not buying this story.
It wasn't really till I got back
I want that
to my
paperwork.
family, and they began to ask me questions. My sister wasn't really that transparent. She was just saying like, did you grab her or something? Like, did you grab her? And then it was my brother that was like, yeah, she trying to say you grabbed her butt, bro. Was grinding on it. My mom was saying the same thing. You know.
Did the police ask you any sexual questions pertaining to that?
No. From what I can remember, the
facts, Alicia.
The detective, he asked me just what was my side of the story. You know, he just got a statement for me to state my side of the story. He didn't really reveal exactly what was going on in the totality or even her statements.
Like the Argument League, if you're still in here, anybody that may know, was he, you know, did he bond out or did he just fight the case in jail? Did he also get like, you know, good time added on? You know what I mean? Because sometimes it'll accumulate to where somebody gets arrested, they can't post a bail for whatever reason, so they'll sit in jail, fight the case. Those days that they spent in jail are included in the case, as well as then they get probation. Like if he fought this case for a year and that's what they would have given him plus the probation, you know what I mean, or however long.
So what's
going? Oh, he did make bond. Okay, do you know the bond amount?
Going on with you where you think it's okay to go in there and you was gonna beat that man up and do all of that right in front of that little girl?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. Well, if they was, yeah, I mean, yeah.
And so at that time, you didn't care. You just wanted action.
Get him.
Yeah.
So how we know that you was thinking clear enough where you didn't do nothing to that little girl?
Well, I mean, that's for you to decide. You know, like I said, I read you her side of the story. I stated my side of the story.
See, now what would be crazy if somebody found out who the victim in this situation was, now that she's grown, if she would like to come forward and speak, you could definitely do so on my platform. I would definitely listen to what you have to say. I want to hear both sides if it's possible. I'm not saying that, you know, obviously in this situation with Polite, we should back up. But since this did happen 17 years ago, she was 14 at the time, so she's also an adult right now. She may want to, you know, speak. But if you are listening, you could definitely hit me up at Queen's Throne number 9. So queensthrone9@gmail.com, and I'll do an interview with you and we can get your story out as well. Whether you validate what he's saying or you go against what he's saying, we're here to support you.
And this is the whole purpose of doing this stream. And I think that this stream, you know, is really,
I hear you, Mad.
Really giving everybody the opportunity to kind of look at the situation as it happened. Both of the statements that you know, both sides of the story was relayed, and so this is the actual stream that actually you could really make a decision as to what you feel is going to happen.
All right, then hold on, I ain't through. So then we read, or what we heard was that you had sex offender classes, and you weren't able to see your niece and your nephew. That's how they posted it. What's up with that?
Yeah, and correction, it did not say on that paper that he could not be around any child without being supervised. It said his niece and nephews.
Well, no, in that case, that was 10 years later with the indecent exposure. That had nothing to do with this particular case here. this particular case here, the charges got dropped, like I said, in the preliminary hearing, and I just had 2 years of probation. That was what the situation was.
So you had another incident. So you had the indecent exposure. So that's the one everybody said you run around showing your stuff to little kids, right?
Well, yeah, when you actually look at the case, it wasn't no kids involved in that situation.
What was involved with that situation?
Listen.
Now
this is the one that he attempted to speak about on the Moorish World TV. Again, it's on my other Queen's Throne channel, the one that has no picture. It just has Queen's Throne uncensored on it. That's where you could find that video.
That situation was me being in a public place.
The live we did last night on him is on this channel that we're on live now.
And to be frank, had my penis out. Somebody was performing a sexual act on me.
Shout out to Dwayne. Thank you and welcome to the royal family. Excuse me.
It was seen by an individual. They would call security. Security would come. I think it was almost simultaneously that the individual was giving me fellatio. She kind of popped up at the same time. My dick is out. Security like, yo, come here. And
if you didn't hear, this was at a library. So obviously children are at libraries.
I don't know if he was saying it to both of us or just me, and I was just like, yeah, it's all me. Like, it's all me. She had more to lose than I did. And so I sat on that. But those were all adults in that situation.
So then why they wouldn't let you around kids?
Well, the stipulation was that it was a person had to be there when my niece and nephew there. I don't know exactly why they had that there.
But it said supervised by the sex offender probation unit. Something to those words. That was on there.
Yeah, that was the stipulation.
But sometimes these sex offenders or sex offenders just period, they will commit a crime and they don't even have to register as a sex offender. It's not all sex offenders that actually have to register, and that is important to remember. If anybody needs me to dig further into that, I definitely can. Let me know.
That, if I was to visit my nieces and nephews,
I've kind of covered that in a couple other videos.
That had to be somebody there. That was just one of the stipulations for the sex crime, So yeah.
Yes, but this was with an adult, or it was with a minor?
No, that was with an adult. Yeah, that was with an adult.
And just to interject, when you had the case with the dude and the girl, you were able to be around kids after that, right?
Yeah. It was really okay.
Go ahead,
something ain't adding up, fam, because I'm told and I'm seeing the way they put this shit up that the assault case from 2005 is what ended up getting you in a situation with not being able to be around kids.
Nah. I think that it was the situation in itself. I'm not sure exactly if they do that to everybody. Or that maybe the 2005 when they looked at the jacket and they had an impact.
Yeah, that's why I don't do religion at all.
But that's just was one of the stipulations.
And so where was you at when you was getting your
him? No, the other. Okay, so the situation with the niece and the nephew. Yeah, that's right there though. I'm thinking that the situation with the niece and the nephew is the part with the sister's soon-to-be ex-husband at the time or whatever, daughter's situation, not the library situation. I might be wrong though.
Fellatio.
I was in,
because even though Saneter showed information, he probably, showed choice things to make what they were bringing. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Library.
Because I believe that they're definitely deflecting from the Brother Polite situation. But since this is my genre, I'm sure he didn't anticipate that I was going to actually follow up with some of the claims that came out through this. But since they're talking, let's follow it through. We still doing what we normally do over here. It's just in our community. And we need to talk about it. I done talked about white motherfuckers doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Mexican people doing this shit. All type of shit. We might as well talk about this. But we're still gonna stay focused on, like I said, Saneter bringing niggas that, you know, have real fucked up backgrounds. There's some charges I really just don't care about. But crimes against somebody else, like you was at them, you was trying to take their life and all that, and, you know, you're hiding it. We gotta, you know, motherfuckers gotta dig this shit out, all that. That's crazy as hell. However, again, he didn't reoffend or whatever, or hasn't gotten caught, if that was the case. That's why I'm saying, like, I thought that this was a powerful build. At times I was, you know, talking to the TV like, man, fuck that shit, fuck that nigga, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad when the mask dude, I'm sorry because his name ain't up there, so I don't want to disrespect him or nothing, but I love his mask. But when he came up and how it was, you could hear that passion in his voice. He's standing on that shit. And other people that were speaking on the panel, I felt that shit. That's what I want to see in our men. That, no, we're not finna stand for it. We're going to hold you accountable. You know what I mean? I can't make anybody on this panel or anybody that supported, you know, SOLARMIND or Saneter or anybody else leave away from them. I can only present a really good case of why I'm side-eyeing them or don't trust them or what the issue is. And that would go for anybody. I'm going to shut up now because I think it was powerful. Even though he was up here bluffing, you know what I'm saying? But the rest of it, I appreciated it.
What, just out there on holiday?
Huh?
You was just out there all in the open? Like, what you mean?
Well, they have like these kind of cubicles, and at the end is like a room. I was in one of the rooms, you know, so it's like a cubicles, a lot of cubicles, and at the end, like the room is facing the cubicles. So
y'all with these screen names, somebody in here with the screen name Polite Real Daughter Wife. Wow.
The window to the room, you can see right into the room.
And so, okay, so you go through that. So now, so you get this charge or whatever.
Kind of hit a weed.
And so they gave you 2 years of probation on that. And so what they made you register? You was in the sex registry then, right?
You said sex registry?
You was in the sex offender registry then, right?
No, I never was a registered sex offender, never.
Nah, nigga. Like so the way niggas is painting this shit out to be, you the pedo, nigga.
That's how they paint it.
Well, you know, it's an easy way that you can find since my name. Since my name is out there, only thing you gotta do is type it into the sex offender. I think they gotta, you know, put they picture in every certain amount of time, every 6 months or something like that, and that they gotta renew their picture so you can see how they're looking currently. And just type my name in there.
And several people, I gotta say this, several people has changed Solar. The name that we're getting, that has never been in the sex register.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you.
And again, earlier I stated that I'm wondering if he did have to file as, you know what I'm saying, a sex offender, but only for a certain amount of time. And again, every sex offender does not have to register. It depends on the crime. You know what I'm saying? What they pled guilty to, what the stipulations are.
Last couple questions, then I'm gonna come back if I'm gonna leave some more meat on the bone for everybody else. So first offense. What you say?
Damn, I was muted. My bad.
Hey, you got into it with
I said, I forgot what I said. I said because he, you know, whether he had to register or not the issue is, okay, because sometimes they don't have to register at all. right? But sometimes they have to register for a certain amount of time. Sometimes they have to register for life. But my issue is after the time span, let's say that SolarMined got a time span, like you have to register as a sex offender for 3 years, 5 years, whatever. And now that it's 17 years, there's no record of that. But there should be something still in the internet, because whatever you post in here, there is some type of record of it. But I'm interested in knowing that as well, because it definitely said sex offender on that paper.
With your brother-in-law, right?
Now, what you say?
The first offense, the assault offense in 2005, you got into it with your brother-in-law, right?
That is correct.
And so then you go over there, you look like boomed out, you scared of it.
Are you breaking up a little bit, brother?
Am I back?
A little girl caught him in the library? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no little girl caught him in the
So
library.
you show up, you go over there,
Yeah, I was just saying that kids are there, though.
you boomed out, you go kick in the door. So y'all go to court.
On Saneta's paper, the argument league, on Saneta's video, the live that he did, it was a paper that had stated that, he had to have supervised visits with his niece and nephew. And then at the bottom of that, under that, it said supervision by the sex offender probation unit or something like that. It's in my last live stream or on Saneta's video that he did on this, the one that's up. So I seen it, and I even pointed it out. We stopped and talked about it. So that's weird to me. That's why I'm saying, like, some of his story is not making sense. And the fact that, he knew he was doing this show with you. So he could have easily taken a picture or whatever of the documents, scanned them in, whatever, so that we could read during this live stream those actual documents that he has. What happened to his discovery in the case? He really could have just been transparent as hell. I mean, I know that he is speaking out about it, and I think, again, you did a good job, but he still doesn't pass the smell test for me. I don't think he ever really will, just coming as a survivor. There's shady dealings. He's nervous as hell. I study body language as well. He's looking off to the side a lot, unless he has like ADHD, and I'm not saying that to be funny, because I have ADHD. That's just weird. Like, he really has no chat to essentially be reading, nothing else he should be doing but looking front and center at the camera, telling his story. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. So, I mean, it's not like he's the host right here that is, having to conduct the live, make sure that, I'm sorry, my landlord lives next door and he has a Ferrari, and every time that he leaves out of his house, it be loud as hell. So I apologize, y'all. I'm gonna mute up.
And she just decided, you know what?
You say she decided what?
Yeah. Hey, mute out.
My bad.
So she basically. How did this work out?
No, I didn't hear all of your question. You said
so you go to court. She recants the story. She can call line. Like, how that work out?
Well, like I said, when they was asking the questions, I guess the judge felt as though that the story didn't really make sense in line of what happened. So I think that the story began to fall apart when, as was said in the statement, she turned around and went back.
Y'all can't hear the audio?
Back in the house.
Oh, his Ferrari. Man, it's loud. He got a Spider. It's tight, but it's loud as hell.
I was chasing her, and he started asking some questions that she really couldn't really answer. It was like, well, were you afraid of him? And at first she said, yeah. And then it was like, well, why did you turn around and begin to walk back towards him?
But her being afraid of him because he had groped her versus him being her being afraid of him because he had groped her versus her being afraid of him because, you know what I'm saying, he was in a threatening manner or whatever. Again, this is a 14-year-old, are two different things. However, I still wouldn't have fucked with him because you made a child feel like that, and actually a little girl. whether you had an issue with her father, that would have had nothing to do with that little girl. You should, you know what I mean? You should have never came in a threatening manner to her house where she's supposed to feel safe at. I don't like that. But even if it was on the street or whatever, that's still not cool.
You know, to get back in the house. And so, you know, the story began to fall apart at that point. So.
And so you got these two separate incidents. That's all you got? You got more? What, you got more paperwork?
Well, you know, I mean, did they show my whole jacket?
Brother, you silly as hell. I know that ain't him, but you silly.
So, you know,
I see that assaults.
Yeah, that incident, I have assault with
and I want to make it clear, right? We're here to clear him of pedophilia. We're not here to shame him for all the things that he's already served time for that were non-sexual acts.
Amen.
Right? This is about the children and finding out if Solar was a pedophile and had sexual dealings with a child. So if he got caught crossing the street, we're not questioning about jaywalking. You know what I'm saying? Because that's he served his, what's the name for that? So go ahead.
Yeah, well, you know, to answer his question, you know, yeah. Pistol whip somebody. I pistol whip, you know, beat people up and shot at people.
Why is he acting all shy about that? I mean, I'm pretty sure these men in one time in their life or whatever got down like that. He's still very shameful, which leads me to believe that he still is hiding shit.
All right. I'm gonna leave some for everybody else. I'll be back.
Shout out to A9. Anybody else has a line of questioning? Tad, you ready, big dog?
Right. So, I mean, for real, I just got one question and we'll go from there.
That may not be what the victim in the situation felt, them funks.
Real, like, you know all this shit is in your motherfucking background and you ain't say shit. Now, when niggas like me come and I'm fucking with you, my motherfucking reputation on the line. You know what I'm saying? So, why didn't you tell nobody none of this shit? Why ain't this shit out in the open so niggas will know?
All right, right now we're looking at the Argument League is on SOLARMIND's neck. They in the hound session and they're asking them questions. We're hearing from Taz right now. Shout out to the Argument League. Salute to them. We're just kind of listening to what SOLARMIND claims is his portion of the story that was presented on Saneter Studios. He claimed that they lied on him or switched shit around, manipulated the situation.
I was ashamed of that, you know.
He may be. I don't know anything about Taz in reality.
It was embarrassing.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree that in terms of when everything began to hit the fan, I did.
But when you say an abuser, you mean an abuser of children, women? What's the situation with that?
Get my opportunity to relate it to a couple people when I kind of seen the writing on the wall. But you know, in terms of, you know, just being transparent right from the open, like soon as I went on YouTube, yeah, I was ashamed of those charges. You know,
you should
like I said,
he should be ashamed of those charges. However, he still should have came forward and said something.
Those charges had,
especially before ever speaking on Polite. Now, during this conversation, shout out to a brother had sent me an audio recording of the Saw Satan sound bites or whatever, the audio of a phone call between Saneter and SOLARMIND. However, they kind of play a lot of it in this video, so I'll just play it from here.
Impact on my life, and those were serious charges, and I was trying to move forward.
Do I think that SOLARMIND would reoffend? No, but again, as a mother and somebody that, you know, has been down this road as a survivor, I would not. I can't. Like, I'm good. That doesn't even go with my brand.
Man, you know, even me going to the court, I had to literally relive that. You know, relive the whole situation.
So you're saying that Taz is a convicted abuser of women. How long ago were those charges?
Reading the documents and looking at the charges and the whole nine. So, yeah, you know, that was irresponsible on my part in terms of, like you said, you know, how, you know, everybody is in a league that I'm, you know, the head of or the commissioner of, and
I'm saying if you rape children, you ain't gotta come here and be like, so I caught it disorderly conduct. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gotta tell about stupid ass shit like that. But if it's involving like hurting a woman, hurting a child in any way, form, or fashion, you should come forward and say that. Hurting a man, shit. Some women be out here knocking these niggas' heads off. So abuse, period.
I think that is
I ain't got no abuse towards somebody on my record. I'm not saying I ain't been perfect, you know what I mean, that I'm perfect and all that. I'm not saying that I haven't, you know, whooped a bitch ass, but I ain't out here abusing motherfuckers.
It should have been my responsibility to be transparent, especially when, you know, this back and forth thing was going on. And then I didn't know because it was calls that was made to me by individuals such as Saneter. He was calling other people that was in my circle saying that he had my jacket. So I should have said something then. You know, I only
that is facts, Hawk. What Hawk said. Level 3, the risk to repeat offense is high. Most state and national sex offender registries are required to report level 3 sex offenders only. And most of the time, level 3 sex offenders are the ones that have to register for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? Level 2 is people that have to register for a time period, I believe. And then the number 1 is they don't have to register at all, but they are in, you know what I mean, they're overseen by the sex offenders unit. That's what I'm saying about this situation.
So certain people, you know,
but just because he doesn't have to register does not mean that he's not a predator.
You know, certain people that was in the circle, I related to them actually before everything.
Okay, could you let me know maybe the name of the video where you went over that so that I can look at it or whatever? I mean, again, somebody can be abusive towards women and change their life. They can go get help. Abuse of like physical abuse. Yesterday I said that an adult, period, that victimizes a child or rapes somebody, there is no turning back. However, somebody with an anger problem and that beats on women can change. They don't have to be stuck in that situation. I've seen it. I actually have seen it. You know what I'm saying? Some homegirls that I met or whatever, they chose to stay. And while everybody was saying, I'm not saying that if a man is beating your ass, give him a chance and all that, get help for him. I'm just saying there was situations where women separated from their man, and while they got their life together, you know what I mean, they stayed acquainted or whatever, but they weren't like physically living together, or things weren't the same. Later on, they got back together when the person dealt with their shit. So I'm just saying, like, if it was in like 1982, I don't really give a fuck about that unless he has priors leading up. Like, if he has a slew of past shit, you know, trickling down years, and then oops, 1 3 years ago, 1 a year ago, then that's different. But this is my first time like hearing about that or whatever, because I really never got into the issue where other people had issues with like Taz and Nyla. I may have like listened to it or commented in people's videos, but a lot of the times when I watch other people, I am like multitasking or whatever, or I'm at work and I just can listen at work sometimes. So I don't know the ins and the outs, so I'm not gonna speak on Taz, but if you did do a video, I would like to see it.
Definitely it was.
Me and Uncle Suge aren't on good terms at this time. I do watch some of his content, like if it's involved in like the Brother Polite situation or whatever, I will always stop over there to get, you know, his opinion. But then to some, Uncle Suge ain't perfect either. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying. I don't think none of us are perfect, but if you got a sexual offense, bro, that's a problem.
That I should have done it when it was being suggested. I think that it was first suggested when I did the first interview over on the Harkin Bay channel. So I should have, looking at it in hindsight, I should have just went forward and brought those things out right then. You know, so you're absolutely correct. You know, that was kind of an irresponsible move for me to remain silent in light of all you guys' reputations and how you guys are viewed, and what y'all promote. Because we all did shows talking about, you know, pedophilia and things of that nature, and it was it's definitely you know, my responsibility to be more to have been more transparent.
Yeah, we do gotta stop calling him polite, brother. That's facts. We gotta stop calling him polite too, because he definitely is not that.
In light of the allegations that was being suggested about me.
And I'm gonna say this, man. I took a look at it, and so
this is Taz speaking now. For those that had, you know, pointed out that he had issues, let's see how he responds.
I respect the fact that you was willing to be transparent and let the rest of it come out, have a real discussion about it. I mean, that's really what I wanted to know. I don't care about no pistol whipping and the old Solar that was out here whooping shit and all of that, nigga. I just want to know about the kids and what the fuck this reference is that they trying to shoot back to, because I know what they trying to do. They try to do it to me.
Bum light.
So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming on. You know what I'm saying? And clear that shit up. It is look. And if nobody else knows what you...
His audio messes up a little bit right here. I apologize.
If
breaking up a little bit.
You breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay, you stable now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So now I was saying that if anybody knows about the embarrassment behind some of that shit is me. What it was, I just said it one day, and so I just had to do it. And then my name was on here. I originally came on with my real name. So I, you know what I'm saying, I had to stand in my shit from the beginning coming on YouTube, and it felt better when people started looking it up and trying to make it, you know what I'm saying, like they had something on me, not knowing that the original people that was around know I already spoke on that. And so that was really my only question, because
thank you for the donations. I really appreciate it. Salute. Thank you.
That it's imperative that people know that type shit, because somebody gonna try to use it against you, because somebody try to throw you under the bus. They act like white men here, bro. They act white men, and they act like they don't understand that COINTELPRO type content we talk about, where they throw some heavy ass charges, nigga, but then throw all that shit out and finish it off with small. None of them heavy charges even stuck. It just was thrown on your record for it to look bad on the surface. I know that, but I know that feeling of embarrassment when somebody look at you and say, damn, you sold beer to a minor? You had them minors? Nigga, I know how.
Oh, this is what you guys were talking about?
How that feel. And I ain't did a motherfucking thing like that, and it's still there. Like, damn, bro, I gotta explain this shit again. Fuck.
Because like I said, when I was listening to this, I was also editing the first portion of what I played in the live stream, where NAPAH was sitting up there talking all that shit on her page or whatever. So I was editing at portions of this. I just know that, you know, who was talking or whatever.
So I feel you, bro. I feel you, and I got you. And like I say, man, that was my only question. Do your thing, bro. I don't appreciate this motherfucking slander and shit, and I appreciate you coming out, bro.
Yeah, and I think that it's our responsibility to actually have a real conversation about this. This is nothing to be played with. This is nothing to be weaponized. This is nothing to be talked about because I don't like the individual. This is like a serious issue, and this, like I said, on many levels. You know, the actual allegations is very serious allegations, and the impact, once again, like I said, had on my life. It's changed my life. It's like real situation, and this is nothing to be played with on all levels. You know, so I think that it turned into a circus. You know, people out of, you know, whatever thing that they had with me, try to use it to, I guess, to destroy my image. So they tried to make the charges.
Well, it's new information though. I mean, it's new information. Anything they can present as new and dirt. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, you know, you got to get out ahead of shit like this. And since you didn't early on, it would hurt you anytime in the middle of it to get into it, because you've already built the name. People know who you are. And so now once people start talking about it, it's automatically, damn, for real.
Thank you again for the donation. I appreciate it.
It's going to be a negative context to it. And it still will be people trying. But you've got to clear your name. And I'm glad you came and did it, because now I can ride right there in the front seat with you, nigga. I'm there.
No doubt.
All right, appreciate you, Taz. Yara has come off mute. Go ahead, big dog. Floyd.
And I'm not saying that Saneter didn't bring this all out because he wasn't, you know, trying to deflect from the situation with Polite. I'm just, when gems are dropped, I'm gonna show up. I'm going to pick up every gem and then, you know, put it in my pocket and get it ready to present. You know what I'm saying?
It's yours. We cannot hear you. Okay, I think y'all are having technical difficulties. Everybody hit the like button out there, please. And I want to be specific. Accusing people of pedophilia who hasn't done those acts is not protecting children.
And I do speak up in events where people have been accused and there is no, you know, evidence or no paperwork or whatever to state that they, you know, did that. I have done that on occasions, even in situations involving other YouTubers, because people just throw certain shit around. If there's no proof, that doesn't mean that that person is not a predator. But if there's no proof or they've made no statements out of their mouth, then what I look like pulling up, you know what I mean? But like NAPAH said earlier in the video that you know, the live, some of y'all didn't come right away. That's fine. But I played in a video where, mistake or said on purpose, she said something to the tune of making love to children and then corrected her words. So I dug my nails into her, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit in that shit. And I look at NAPAH as she's not a victim. I said that she was over here calling them, you know, the Predator League and all this and that. I feel like you know, she could have been talking about them as well. So I thought that that was not cool because there's no proof that all these men up here did something like that. It's not something we should throw around if that's not what's going on.
It's not.
He answered my question.
So I understand the need for people to act like they're super concerned and the upstanding citizen and this has been high on their priority list. But let's keep it real, it hasn't. For a lot of you, you know, this is trending. It's popular right now. And you're in the now. Enjoy the ride. I don't want to take that away from you. But just know that you do add to the numbers of people who have an agenda past probably your conception. You know? So let's try to
facts, Dolly, it was.
Utilize this moment of transparency. Hold other people to that standard. And know what it takes to be able to come forth to even have somebody go through this again. Y'all right? You there, big dog?
Okay, so sorry, Crown Key, but right now we're looking at the Argument League is talking to SOLARMIND. SOLARMIND is right here if you've never seen him before. This is the host on the Argument League, and these are the people on the panel. He told his side of the story, and they're asking him questions. This is meant to hold him accountable to get to the bottom and find out the truth. That's what we're listening to right now. I will drop the link to this video so that people can view it in its totality, as well as if you like his content, you can then subscribe to him. Check him out.
He went back on mute. Yeah, hit the like button, please. So, like I said, I don't really got, you know, that was my only agree. That was the hardest thing. Okay, there you go. Okay. To get in. So shout out to the panel. Unseen Soldier has hit the panel. I don't know if you on this, but we're gonna Yara right quick. Go ahead, Yara.
Yeah, peace, family, peace. Shout out to people in the chat.
Mighty Hebrew, I haven't even looked into the allegations with you.
SOLARMIND, do you have any children of your own, biological children?
No, I don't.
I agree with that, Fly Boys. I'm on their ass too. I just stopped to look at this.
Okay. So with that,
I agree.
Why should we think you actually understand during that time, how be it your age, from that time until now that you can actually sympathize with the 14-year-old victim in your case, because according to what we understand, the police report, and everything that was going forward.
You're welcome, Crown Key.
That she is a victim. And let me say this. I don't know if it's been said before on this panel. We're not victim shaming here, right? The young lady had her side of the story. Obviously, Solomon has a different side of his story in that particular case. And from what we understood, that particular part of the case, especially in regards to the indecent assault charge, was withdrawn. We know that you went before a court of law. We know that it was adjudicated properly. And out of that one charge, it was determined that you simply there was a simple assault. And when it says simple assault, we're not saying that charge isn't serious, because it definitely is serious. Assault is assault. It is an act of violence. Let's be clear about that, family. That's an act of violence. And understanding that this is a 14-year-old child, male or female, doesn't really matter. But the fact that this is a violent act perpetrated against a child, that's something that I know.
Okay, I'll check that out, the Argument League. Thank you.
That myself, having 4 daughters and raised 4 daughters on my own, that's something that I would have come after you personally for. That's something that I don't look past. So again, my question to you is that understanding that it was some time ago when these charges were levied against you, what has going on in your life since that time until now that we would have the understanding of, that you would be able to tell us why you can sympathize with the victim involved? Like, how have you grown? Like, how can we actually stand with you in the terms of what you're saying, that you made a mistake. Yeah, we know you made a mistake. The court know you made a mistake. Different things like that. But how can we stand with you, trusting that you actually understand the ramifications of the charges that were levied against you and against the minor at that particular time? How can we stand with you about that? Especially, and I'm talking as a parent to someone who's not a parent.
May I answer?
How can we stand with you?
Facts. It's different. It feels different when you have children, because you can, like, imagine your children having to go through that or whatever. Like, that's just not cool.
1 second, please.
I wouldn't have never been in that house. I would have just waited outside. Shit, you run a greater risk than running up in the house anyway. Not saying that he kicked the door open, but what if dude, the dad had a gun or something, shot his motherfucking ass? Depending on what state he live in, he could have been well in his rights. So Solomon would have just been shot all up. Leave the door open for some type of accusation to also come out. See, that's why when you're like a female or whatever, and I'm sure for like men, but if you're a female, like if you have a male doctor, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a female nurse or somebody else in there when they're doing certain procedures or whatever, like a pap smear, you know what I mean? But like for men, I don't know if it's a woman doctor, a man has to be in there. I don't know that, but I'm just saying that is for a reason. They do that for a reason, so that there's no accusations made like that. What's good, California Dream? Bad. What? I miss you, boo.
Yeah, well, my personal relationships, although I don't have a biological child, but I was in a relationship where I met, the female while the baby was around maybe 6 months, and we was in a relationship for close to 14 years. Still in contact with the young man. So I did have the opportunity to raise a young man. My nephew's currently right now in another room with his son. So I do know the severity of the situation.
The Argument League, does the BOS on your name stand for Brothers of the Struggle?
Situation. I took it upon myself also when I was doing the ITBM2 channel to bring on sex victims that was actually abused. Had a couple of sisters come on and actually give their story as to what their experiences was and how they had an impact on their life. So definitely I'm very cognizant of
okay, I'm SOS. Salute.
The ramifications of serious crimes as what I was charged with, and even more serious crimes, especially inflicted on females. So once again, that's a very serious issue, and that's nothing to be taken lightly. But as what you said, that's as far as I could go with it, because like you said, I never had a biological child. So I know it's levels to this, and far as
much love, y'all.
From that,
I was wondering that the first time that I seen y'all video, but I was peeping the scene. I didn't comment or nothing, but I seen certain people in there, so I was like, I bet you that's what that means.
So I don't know really what to say at that point, because I never experienced that. So that's all I can say as far as my answer is.
I'll shout out my people come from Louisiana. But, I grew up in Minnesota and Chicago, Minneapolis.
One more, next question.
That's what's up.
Since that particular incident that you received a simple assault charge on, have you had any other incidents in which the law was contacted or not contacted involving you and minors in a sexual aggressive nature, or just a physical nature, whether it was a male child or a female child?
No.
Okay. My third question is, what do you?
Oh, salute to her as well. You're from Gary, Indiana. Okay, the Midwest.
Did you feel like you needed to come out and say something because you had something to lose? Because you were aware of these charges before anyone else brought them out.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is my understanding, that this is the first time you've talked about them. And I heard you say,
"Oh, I'm on NAPAH's neck too. She ain't off the hook." You know what I'm saying? Period. I just wanted to, follow through with the story with SOLARMIND. If he was, telling the story, if this is what really happened, I wanted to get that out there. But I'm not buying it. It doesn't mean that I don't, support what was done and said, and the actions that were taken on this platform. I just won't pull up for SOLARMIND, but I support it.
That you were ashamed of them.
I'll be checking y'all out.
And so I get that. But to come out at this particular point in time and to say that, yeah, I had charges against me involving a minor at one point, this simple assault charge, it was not sexual in nature. And then I had another charge that was sexual in nature, but it was with an adult. What is it today in this moment right now that makes you feel like, other than getting ahead of the story or the things that came out,
whole pie,
like really, what is it today that made
I like that whole pie
you come out and really want to say, these things aren't true? Is it simply just to clear your name? Is it simply just to try to keep a brand you've built? or is it simply just trying to keep pulling the wool over our eyes like we see many other people do? And I'm gonna say this, you know, we came on today, a lot of us, because we were just made aware of the details in this particular case, in that particular case, that one charge. So what is it today? And we felt it was necessary not to sit on this, because this is the same thing in this particular regard is when we were talking about anyone else. You know, once you find out something that is not favorable, or something that has to do with a sexual act towards our children, or possible violence towards our children, and you're affiliated with that person, once you become aware of those particular things, that those things should be addressed and be addressed right away.
So y'all could see.
And not be sat on. And give us as adults, as parents, as comrades, as people who don't like you, who still communicate with you, to make our own decision whether or not we should support you or support your brand and different things like that. So we felt it's necessary, and that's what we're asking the community, that these things should be addressed this particular way. Once you find something out, don't sit on it. Don't sit on it. Because I'm gonna tell you, I have children.
Trying to make it bigger.
I have children, right? I raised 4 daughters by myself. So if anybody thinks that we're not serious about this particular conversation, you're sadly mistaken. My first wife passed away of 18 years. I had to raise 4 teenage daughters by myself. Actually, one wasn't a teenager when she passed away. But I had 4 daughters that I raised for myself until I remarried again for a while. So the severity of this situation, I don't take lightly. I don't care if you threw a spitball at her. If you would have threw a spitball at my child, I would have been trying several different ways to fuck you up.
Now, one thing I do want to point out, just so that you have all the facts, the original video where they had shown this paperwork on Saneter Studios for the first time was in a live stream before the one where they actually went ahead and exposed SOLARMIND's, you know, charges further or whatever. The second one is up, but the first one they took off or deleted. I wonder what was in there, and you know, does anybody have a copy of what was said in there, and why did they remove it? Y'all know Saneter don't like removing shit.
That's where I.
But up here it says Canon James continued. Over here is all the charges that we saw yesterday, right? And it only says guilty on the simple assault. That's what they're saying. And then over here on all these other charges, the indecent assault without consent of a other, it says, I think, withdrawn, corruption of minors withdrawn, unlawful contact, communication with the minor withdrawn. Again, he definitely took some type of plea bargain, as well as the reckless endangering another person was withdrawn as well. He definitely took some type of plea, and based off of what they had or what they felt comfortable with or whatever, these states don't want to spend a lot of money if they don't have to bringing it to trial. But we do have to, you know, state what he's stating. We have to be real about it.
I met with it. And that's how I would have addressed it.
Now, it also says right here, aggravated assault held for court, possession instrument of a crime with intent, I think that's what it says, held for court, simple assault held for court, reckless endangerment held for court. So at some point in time, allegedly, that's what people were saying in my chat earlier, he bonded out. Now, this is not the paperwork where I had seen the $10,000 at. It was more of the paperwork that looked like a PDF or whatever file. that one, not just like a screen. This is definitely a screenshot off of like a cell phone or computer screen. You could tell from these lines right here.
Right? I wouldn't have called the police. I would have waited for your ass. I don't care how long it would have been. I would have waited for your ass. So what I'm saying is, a lot of people, they only expose things.
That was 09? I didn't see that. Where you see 09? Oh, 09 right here. Okay. You're right. You're right, Dolly. Right here it says arrest date 10/7/2009. The judge was Robbins Harvey W. So Harvey W. Robbins. Defender. This happened in Philadelphia. Yeah, and then there's something else down here and it says 2010. Because any time that the case number has like a year in it, 9 times out of 10, unless it's just a weird arrangement of numbers. But in this situation, as you can see right here, this 2009 means that's when the charge happened. As you can see, 2009 is when he was arrested. You see what I'm saying? Down here, this 2010, there's something else there. I don't know what it is though.
Right? I wouldn't have called the police.
Thank you for that, Dolly.
I would have waited for your ass. I don't care how long it would have been. I would have waited for your ass. So what I'm saying is, a lot of people, they only expose things or bring things out when they feel like they have something to lose. What is it that you feel like you had to lose? And is that more important, you losing something, or the threat of losing something, or is it more important that we bring this issue and this topic out in regards to violence, not against children, but against women, our men, and just overall in our community, and how people protect children and how people should protect our children. So, so if you could understand the question that I'm asking, is it more, are you only here because you feel like you have something to lose, or do you generally have empathy and sympathy for victim of violence and sexual violence in our community, especially among children?
Yeah, to be honest, it's all of the above. All the things that you brought up is the reason why I'm here. The reason why I'm here is because there were certain allegations made on me. The reason why I'm here was that the way it was being expressed was in a very dishonest way. The reason why I'm here is because it was a very serious issue, an issue that all you guys, that's with yourself, and how you express yourself just now, take very seriously. I'm here because as a man, I have to be responsible and, fess up to the things that I've done in the past. But I want to be very transparent and honest and forthcoming about the situation. As what you said, along with Taz, yeah, once I knew, that the allegations may come out, this should have been done a lot earlier. And even what I guess you're alluding to, maybe even before that, but like I said, very ashamed of those charges. Those charges were 17 years ago. It had an impact on my life.
That part though, that's true. Mad Judah said why the lady didn't go to jail. I think he's talking about the library situation. He said why the lady didn't go to jail too, and who called the police on him for the indecent. He said that it was the security guard. But why was he just arrested though? Is it because like his sexual organ was out? You feel what I'm saying? At the time in the situation and not hers, because she was only giving him head. So I'm not trying to say that to minimize it, but I'm saying, so obviously like she wasn't naked as hell. That might have been the reason why he is the only one that got charged. But that is crazy though. Was she charged with anything? Because she was also, in some fucked up shit too.
So 1 second, please.
But now you can have to sometimes even have to register as a sex offender if you pimping and you know, the person was a minor as well. There's all type of little portions coming into it, but they need to tighten up these you know, consequences for people that do this. And ultimately, most of the time, there is no, you know, fixing it with a predator that would harm a child or rape.
So yes, I definitely those are the reasons. All of what you said. You
yeah, Saneter's paperwork could have been altered. You could easily get a whiteout pen. There was a portion where it looked like something was whited out, but I thought maybe because it was old paperwork or whatever. I don't know. But damn, I wish I had the timestamp for that. I'm gonna actually try to find it.
And I think that this had to be done in a very adult, responsible manner. This is like not no you know, plaything. Whereas though, like, you know, like we have a debate league. This ain't no thing about like, you know, like a debating and that. No, this is a very serious issue. You know, this is real time stuff. This was my life. You know, and like you said, yes, we need to take all those things seriously, and this is why we have to present it in a way that is responsible. You know, in light of the, you know, all the allegations and all the charges that was made. So yeah, that's the reason why, you know, I'm doing this.
Appreciate you, big dog. Yara?
My very last question. Do you have an anger problem?
Yeah, I had one, I believe.
I'm gonna let him finish answering this question. I actually went straight to the live stream, and the first place I clicked had the paperwork on the screen. So,
yeah.
Oops.
So when you say had, is there something you worked out? How did you say you had one? So how do you put that in past tense? Like, what steps did you take to say that you had a anger problem? Did you get any type of professional therapy? Did you go to any type of religious leader? Did you come up with you know, what type of self-discipline did you put in place, or how did you approach dealing with your anger issue? Right? Because I know you know, you're an Aries, you know, I'm an Aries. A lot of people don't subscribe to that. So I know, you know, I have a high, you know, I had a high temperament, you know, and I could still get there at times. So I always have to think 3 times, you know, before I respond to a situation in anger, you know. And as a young child, I've had to go through therapy.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop it right there before we let the brother continue. So bam, right here is what I'm talking about. I'm gonna make it larger. Damn, I had to pop this back in the frame. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right. So right here it says, now this part right here is an issue to me because it looks like there was some other writing here, but it also looks like somebody came in here with a whiteout pen. I'm not claiming that that's facts or whatever, but if you see, there's 2 impressions on this piece of paper where it looks like there might have been something up in here, because also look at the way that it states. So it states defendant has 1 year to pay court costs, right? But then all of this is missing, and then it says stay away order stipulated. So what was right here? This is Saneter's paperwork, you know, of SOLARMIND, but I did want to point that out. That was bothering me too about this. And this is the case. Okay, it doesn't say when the case started. However, this is the one where it says stay away order stipulated that defendant may have supervised interactions of niece and nephews, also deemed by probation, supervision by sex offenders unit of probation. But what was right here? Something is missing right here, and that's an issue to me. They very well could have, you know, had a copy of this, whited it out right quick, and then, you know, put it in here. Somebody had to circle this, obviously. So something ain't right. But that's that's the issue right here, is where the children come into play and all that. It does not say that he had to register as a sex offender, but supervision by sex offenders unit of probation. There is no period here. So what was the continuation of this? It also, you know what I'm saying, is not, there is no extra part of it. This is what they showed in their live stream of him. So it's not like I can just make the page any bigger or whatever and go down and read the rest. This is what they had put up on their page. So I wanted to point that out as well. Let me get up out of here though. Like, shit to a child, or damn it, now I'm stuck in here. Oh fuck. You know what I mean? Just, I can't get out. Oh, yes I can. Oh, because it was I'm over here. I thought it was on my computer or whatever. My bad, my slow ass. I'm telling you. Obviously, the coffee don't give a fuck. All right, so we back over here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we on the wrong one. Never mind. All right, so let me put this back over here and play this again.
Right? I've had to go through therapy to deal with my anger issue as a child. And so I understand what that is. So I'm asking you, what steps have you taken that you said you had an anger issue? How did you, how did you deal with that today? How did you deal with it, and how did you deal with it?
What's good, body after body? Much love. I miss you so much. I hope you get to putting out videos soon. I'm waiting on you. Much love. As always, it's a pleasure to see you.
Stressful situations today, that you would exhibit signs of anger or violence.
Yeah, like you said, one of the main things is I like to suppress my initial reaction. I don't just react to some stuff. And even when you're looking at me, when I got into it with people here in the Solar Vision Debate League, you see that, like, at first I kind of tried to downplay the situation. I tried to, conduct myself in a way, but then, if it goes there, it goes there, but in terms of, the anger that results into like physical violence, it's a combination of things. Me growing from my mistakes, as I get older, seeing the severity of what you say and what you do to people can have an impact on their lives, and looking at certain situations, stuff that I did as far as harming people and things of that nature, is very serious, and also, discipline. A lot of discipline came from the Nation of Islam. Nation of Islam taught me to be very disciplined in how I conduct myself, and it kind of harps on your image and how you operate on a day-to-day basis. That's one thing that is still there, and it's greatly appreciated. As to my growth, reading helped me see.
Now, when he's talking about how it affected him, I do feel that he is being genuine about that. I do feel that he's being genuine about that.
Things from a more,
because shit is different when you look back on it. Like I said, do I think that SOLARMIND would ever put himself in this situation again? I would definitely hope not. But do I think he would reoffend? No. But, I've already said it. I'm good on SOLARMIND. I'm sorry.
In-depth perspective, a historical perspective, understanding my history. And
I feel you, body after body. Get it, bro. For real, for real. That's what's up. I'm waiting on you. Enjoy, clear your mind and shit like that. Get back right and do what you gotta. Not to say that you were ever wrong, but I'm just saying, stand on next. It's a lot going on out here, bro. And I need you. I miss you, bro. For real. Y'all check out my brother's channel, Body After Body. He's not my, biological brother, but I fuck with him the long way. It is what it is, period, point blank. He got some really good videos and he on it, for real.
And where my people came from, and from all different perspectives. These are
Polite's real daughter wife said, bro, Solar sound like he put the story together today. I feel it.
all help me.
I mean, he definitely wasn't prepared to show the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Just, let me see. I don't even got no papers in front of me, but just waving them around, you know what I mean, on a panel or whatever, that's not enough for me. I want to see what you have. Where's your emotional discovery?
You know, grow as an individual.
Where did this portion of that you had groped her, this 14-year-old girl in that other situation, where did that come up? I'm never gonna just let that go. And again, the victim in that situation, because it was 17 years ago, is now an adult. And if she would like to speak up, hit my Gmail at queensthrone9@gmail.com. I'll let you come up and say you're part of the story. I want to see his paperwork. But we ain't gonna sit on this long, because I know Saneter is trying to throw me off and shit. He wants to take, you know what I mean, it out there. I've done my job. I've let you guys know of something that I was aware of with somebody that may or may not have changed their ways or whatever. This may be the genuine story. It may not be. I'm not buying it. I'm not feeling it. But, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we should listen to what he says. That's how you would catch somebody up in the future or whatever, because it's something that they said.
I just want to ask you. Oh, my bad. I want to ask you.
So you got to listen to what they're saying in order to be able to do that. Because it might be, I'm not saying just this situation, but look at what Saneter said about Dr. York, baby Dr. York and all that, right? Who would have ever thought that, 3 years later, we'd be in this situation right now where Polite, you know what I'm saying, got this charge of a 14-year-old, and that whole situation is playing, and that soundbite or video or whatever of what was going on then would even come into play now. Who would have ever thought that?
All right, hey, hold on one second, man. I appreciate you coming on. This is difficult for anybody, and I'll take, and I'm just going to be honest.
Oh, I see it. Trust me, I see it.
A lot of people are going to take it with a grain.
That's what's up, bro. You already know I'm pulling up regardless, whatever sector you at this time. Get that bag. Get that bag. I'm telling you.
Assault, because they feel like, if anything wasn't leveled against you in the last couple of hours, last couple of days, we may not would have ever had to have this conversation.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
And I think that's
from the HOK.
Something we all need to start to understand, like, especially for black men and black people, we have to start talking about things that affect our community and how we grow from them. I personally not sweeping it. I don't think we're sweeping this under the rug. We're not doing this here. And so we're not running away from it. But from what, from what we understood and what we see,
there's paperwork on, you know what I'm saying, SOLARMIND as well. That's what we pulling up for. But, we gonna go back to Polite, because I already know what is going on with Saneter. Like, he nervous as hell. He wanna point out everybody else. Again, why he did not expose SOLARMIND a couple of years ago. Yesterday, for those that were not here, I showed where Saneter and SOLARMIND were riding around in his car 3 years ago. SOLARMIND was on his show a year ago, okay? Well, I talked about the year ago part. I didn't pull up on that video, but I had just showed the other video, and he was in the video a year ago calling him his mans. At what point in time did he find out that SOLARMIND had these charges, and why did him and NAPAH wait to bring this to the people? If they really care about child molestation, if they really care about standing up for women, right? Or whatever, for what's right? Like they're claiming now. No, they just jumping on the fucking bandwagon. That's all they're doing. I see it. Trust me, I see it. You know what I mean? But I can also salute SOLARMIND for not having no same or similars. But again, he's not, like, I'm not fucking with him.
All biasness set apart.
I don't want to push him to the point where he go out and reoffend or furthermore fuck up his life when he's had 17 years. That is a long time. But in my book, as a survivor, as a mother, obviously I have children, I just can't go. You know what I'm saying? I can't be affiliated with him. But I don't really even know of him like that. So,
some people say, well, y'all friends with SOLARMIND or
and to be honest, the first place I found out about SOLARMIND was Saneter.
All close with SOLARMIND. You know, when it comes to violence towards women and children, you know, you're automatically, I consider an enemy, because, you know, that's something that we have to not continue to do and allow in our community. But from the information that I've seen and from what we know, you know, I don't see you as a repeat offender. I don't see you as a sexual deviant.
Bro, Body After Body said it's just like them filthy rich circles. Most of them hold each other's secrets for years. That is facts. That is definitely facts. I'm reading some of your guys' comments. If I miss something, I do 9 times out of 10 watch portions or at least the totality of my live streams so that I can see what has been said. You know what I mean?
That's a different connotation. You know, ignorant people like to talk about, but that's a different, it's actually illegal.
All right, let me know about it, bro. You could either send it to concealed or my email is queensthrone9@gmail.com.
Legal term, but it's a different connotation, and it brings
Okay,
about a different area. And from what we've seen and the evidence that we know that exists, you know, that's a
Exactly, that part, the Argument League. She knew exactly about this. She knew about it, and the fact that she called SOLARMIND from her daughter's phone, and then afterwards, you know what I mean, he called her allegedly. This is what she's alleging. He had, I believe, stated that he did call her and had, you know, a simple conversation until allegedly the mother got on the phone. I don't want to like state that as facts though, because I didn't want to become triggered in the first video that I had posted. That's why I really just didn't speak up on it. I was waiting to see what he was going to say. And it's important, like, not to say that we wouldn't be on Polite's ass like we is if he would have came out and said something, but it makes him even look more sus that he didn't. And yes, SOLARMIND hid for years and was up here, you know, with this in his background, whether what he's telling us is true or it was something else as well. But at least he's coming forth when it got brought up, because they want to deflect from the Brother Polite situation over there at Saneter TV. You know what I mean? And I didn't want Saneter to be like, oh, see, she don't really care about predators. She just cares about Polite. Because that would be a lie. Anybody that knows me knows that I have 4 channels and I go in on this. One of my Queen's Throne channels I'm rarely ever on, and I have 4 channels because my content is attacked. Speaking out about this, I'm shadow banned. It's just because of this situation, I got more people paying attention to my channel. And salute to y'all. I hope you guys do stay tuned in. I understand that I do, like, what we've heard right here is not graphic, really, it's fucked up what even Polite was accused of, but I've covered cases where it's way worse than this. And I'm not minimizing anything when I say that, but just to let it be known, if there is any survivors or people that get easily triggered, some of my videos may not be for you, but I appreciate, you know, you being subbed and clicking in on the videos that you can stomach. But this is just a warning going forward, because, you know, I don't expect people to watch all my videos, you know, right when they subscribe. I be here for a long time sometimes. And I don't expect people to sit the whole time. If you got shit to do, do what you got to do. If you at work or whatever, you know what I'm saying, click in, say what's up, you know what I mean, hit that like button, come back when you have a chance to view it if you're interested or whatever. But just the support, the shares, the likes, the comments, I appreciate it, because it isn't easy for me as a survivor to talk about or stomach these things. But ignoring it, ignoring the elephant in the room that does not only plague the conscious community. This is just a situation that's spilling open, that is exposing so much more. But this goes on in every community, and I've covered it. So I'm going to do this equally as the other ones.
Slanderous statement, pedophilia. It's a slanderous statement. It's a serious.
Who wasn't transparent?
Serious charge to lay upon someone. And I feel like anyone that uses that and try to weaponize it just to try to besmirch someone's character, and they have no evidence of that.
No, I would never do that. Body After Body, I'm well aware. That's why they had the Victims Act. So in a lot of states, a lot of people had a certain time period where they could go and file charges for old crimes, like old sex crimes. Like if you were a child and somebody abused you, There was no stipulations on, you know what I mean, the time lapse. I forgot what it's called at this moment or whatever, but that didn't come into it. So I've dealt with survivors, you know, people that are fresh in being, you know, molested or raped or whatever. So in reality, a lot of the times they don't want to talk about it. They'll literally shut down. You know, it's sad, but sometimes even after being sexually attacked, some of them will take showers, and that is actually destroying evidence. Even though they may feel that way in the moment, I understand you want to get it off of you or whatever, you want to cleanse your body, but that can, you know, be an issue in an investigation in reality. But I've dealt with it all, so it's all good, bro. I appreciate you always.
And it's clearly clearly a fabrication. Then that brings, I bring into question their mental health.
Facts,
and
body.
actually how they actually care about victims of pedophilia and child molestation and those who've gone through child molestation.
Dark Side, are you talking to me? How am I messing with this man's life? Do you not see that this is already up on the Arguments League? That means that it's public. It's to the public. I gave credit to the Argument League. I'm subscribed. I support. You know what I'm saying? I've only seen a couple of videos, but I hit the like button. I sit through. I listen. So how am I ruining his life when he came up here? The Argument League did not twist his arm. Ain't nobody, you know, that is behind these things in the video with SOLARMIND in the room, like holding a gun at him. He came up here to tell his part. So how am I doing anything for content? I hope you don't have a child, Dark Side, because if you do and they are abused, are you gonna what, side with the abuser as well? It's a problem with looking into something that somebody wanted to come forth and talk about, but stay in your body, for real.
Molestation. Something's wrong with you if you feel like
that's big facts, and we salute the Argument League. Facts.
That's an issue to weaponize. Something's
and I left his links in the description as well, so you can find them as well. I'll make sure after the video that they're there, or I think it's a link. But yeah, that's what I do. You can always look in the description and peep who's, you know, content we looking at or viewing, except for if it's Saneter or an abuser. I'm not gonna give credit to Polite. We just gonna look at it.
Clearly wrong with you. And you need to seek professional help. You need to seek spiritual guidance.
I need to deal with what issues? I don't have any issues. Dark Side, I think you need help.
And you need to get somewhere and have several seats. There's some like to say. And that's all I want to say about that, brother.
All right, I want to ask you, was this dude beating on your sister?
Exactly. Like, somebody that's never been through it would never understand, like, how it is to have to deal with that, to know that you were victimized. Some children like myself were victimized by a couple of predators, not just one. It didn't only happen once, it happened for a long time. So who in the fuck is anybody to tell me that, you know, talking about this, spreading awareness so that I can help other children, inform parents. I talked about how these people grew up, not in specifically, I'm talking about SOLARMIND. I'm just saying, just far as the topic, I talked about how predators groom children, all type of things. How is that a bad thing? See, only a predator would have an issue with what I do, because I stand up for also men that have been falsely accused, where they have said nothing that was pedophilic or sex offenderish out of their mouth and has no paperwork, there's no proof, but somebody is saying that they are a predator. We're gonna try to get to the bottom of it. I've done that. Like, what are you saying? Facts, body after body.
Well, I'll tell the story. This is back when I was 19. I think I was 17 then. I was 17, and I just came back from South Carolina, me and my mother, and we were staying at the house. This was before they were married, and I came in one day, and my mom said that he hit my sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I went upstairs and to see what was going on, and he says he was drunk, so he was like, "Yeah, I was waiting for you." He was like, "Yeah, I was waiting for you." Said something like that. So that was enough to confirm what my mom said. But come to find out years later, that she said that she made that up because I think he called my mom. I wish I would have probably did the same thing.
So
called my mom a bitch. He called
so
my
he
mom a
wasn't.
bitch.
So he wasn't physically abusing your sister.
Yeah, I don't know outside of that time any physical abuse. I don't
But
know.
you do know he
any
tried to
physical
kill your
abuse
brother,
outside.
though. You do know he tried to kill your brother.
Yeah, according to the report.
So how close are you and your brother?
Huh?
How close are you and your brother?
Oh yeah, that's my brother. You know.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be funny. Some people are not just that close with their brothers. I mean, I got cousins and I got even friends who I'm more closer with than siblings. So I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to get your state of mind.
A cult is a system of religious or directed towards a particular figure or object. The cult of Saint Ola. A relative small group of people having religious beliefs or practicing or practices regarded by those that are strange or sinister. Sorry, I had to make my screen bigger. I'm just reading this off of Google. A misplaced or excessive administration for a particular person or thing, a cult of personalities surrounding the leaders. Somebody had asked, what is a cult? What is the signs of a cult? Or was it signs, or what is a cult? Hold on.
Because I know me, if a nigga's hitting my sister and he's tried to kill my brother, I would try to do all means to get him to where I want him at. And so my state of mind would not be at the right temperament, because maybe, God forbid, maybe I would try to use his loved ones to actually draw him out. You understand what I'm saying? To get to him, because he's just did something to my loved one. So I'm just trying to get an understanding of your anger. And I'm not saying that it's right. You understand what I'm saying? Because, there was a story to where this dude, they killed his brother, they did something, and he execute their whole family, execution style. He took them out. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just trying to get an understanding of the state of mind. So
I can't find the question. Wait a minute. What is the definition of a cult? Now, how do you know if it's a cult?
That's my last question.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm very close to my brother. We actually, grew up, slept in the same bed, poor together. He's my older brother, so he fought a lot for me. When I was younger, fought a lot for me. As a youth, I didn't have a father around, so he was really my protector. When something happened, it would be him. So now as we adults,
I would say a cult would be anytime that you have to adhere. Signs of a cult would be anytime you have to adhere to something that you don't agree with morally. Okay? Because I know religious people, and that doesn't mean that they're in a cult. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people let's say a piece of paper fall off the floor, and then the people that'd be like, that was God. Everything is God if something happens or whatever. Everything leads back to the Bible, and they really cannot stand on really any conversation without including religion. That there might be some fuckery going on there. But I respect people that have a religion. You don't have to see it from how I see it, but I've seen all type of stuff, and I'm cool.
I
still respect the other person.
My brother. So in terms of the situation, as what you said,
that was God.
Yeah,
that was God.
It was serious. It was serious. So The sentiments.
And also his upbringing does play a part in it. Obviously, if you know what I mean, if he had seen like people get molested or whatever, you can learn behaviors. And that's the thing where I'm saying that child predators that abuse children possibly, I mean, I ain't finna put 100 on it, but there is a way to turn that around in a situation where there is a victim, you feel what I'm saying, of child molestation, but an adult, like, I feel like you still gonna do that. No, every predator will not reoffend, but in most cases, they will. And even with the sex offender registry that they have, I believe that anybody that had sexual contact or whatever with the child, if it's included on the paperwork as they did something involving a minor that's unfavorable, they should have to register, you know, especially if it's sexual, they should have to register as a sex offender for the rest of their life. Now, I get the reason why they have the tiers, you know, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, but I think that they really need to start taking some of these crimes on children, rape, more serious than they do. Fuck the slap on the wrist. Why would you, put them away for a little while, right, around people? And remember this, most sex offenders are around other sex offenders or other people in prison that can't really be in general population because somebody will bust their head open like a watermelon. You feel what I'm saying? So they're in protective custody. They're around other inmates in that situation that may teach them ways around this or ways around that. That is an issue.
That you showed this was what I was...
Cults are not fake. There's already been several cults. The Jim Jones situation, that was a cult.
Feeling at the time. When that happened, and not only that, the relationship that was built with the two families, I felt very disrespected. We
assent. I do not secretly practice any other, lifestyle or anything like that at all. I just don't support it. Let me tell you something. I used to be in church, right? I used to be in the choir, all that. And first of all, my pastor got busted for selling heroin. He was also LGBT, but spoke against it on the thing. When my husband was beating the fuck out of my ass, right? When my husband was beating the fuck out of me because he needed him to be a drummer in his church, my pastor sat there and told me that it's against God's, God's will or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, but it's against God's will for me to want a divorce from him. So that basically I was supposed to sit there and get my head beat the fuck in by somebody that never knew what love was. And I thought that I could change their mind. I thought I could love them. So I'm sitting here trying to prove to him time after time that I'm here for you. I got your back, until I finally just woke up and was like, fuck this shit, bro. I'm good. That's why. I've seen all type of other things in church. I've seen people go to church and then go out here and they'll be the main one fucking beating the shit out of their kids. Certain people are only religious on Sunday. I don't have nothing. I don't believe in the devil. I don't adhere to nothing. I'm not in no secret society. None of that. Period. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I be getting into it because a lot of people say stuff or whatever. I can't catch everything. I'm sorry. If I got you fucked up with my response, let me know. You know what I mean? If I'm coming for you and that ain't what you was saying or whatever, I'm just reading comments. So I might have it messed up. I apologize. But it's all good. I mean, I salute, because in some situations people really do, like, they'll have, committed a crime or whatever, like something that's different than a sexual offense or whatever, or even maybe a sexual offense. And, or they be at a place in their life fighting drug issues or whatever it may be, right? And then they, get into a type of religion and it actually changes their life. I can understand that because there is steps to learning. One thing I do believe is that you relive life here several times until you've really completed shit before you could really go, to what some people would call heaven. I would call where you can kind of have more of a decision of what dimension you're gonna be in and all this and that, because this is not it in reality. I don't want to go far into it or whatever, but I'm just saying, I think it's more, this is a learning experience. You gotta think about it, you know what I'm saying? We are energy, so we could have also placed ourselves here to have this experience. Some people say that, you know, we could actually be gods having a human-like experience. You know, because we are creators. Males create, females create. So you are like the creator in y'all mind frame or whatever. It's when people are too far into the book, and, you know, that book said, all them books say some pretty fucked up things. That maybe that might have been the times then, but we've evolved, and like there needs to be some type of correction there. But I can only speak for my thing with it. I'll be a lie if I said I wasn't once, you know, down with religion or whatever, but then I woke up, I started asking questions. You know what I mean? And waking up and seeing things. And no, Saneter did not play a big part of me waking up. It was other documentaries and stuff like that that I was looking at. I found out about Saneter Studios when him and Hassan, because I used to be a moderator for Hassan. Hassan tricked me into believing that his story was all the way thorough, and through, you know, supporting him, modding for him, I found out that he's a liar. Shit ain't adding up there. I called it out, and whatever. I've already been there, done that. If he happens to call my name again, I'm gonna be on that ass. But you know, that's how I found out about Saneter, and that was in 2016.
Thanksgiving, Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
but
know.
I don't support Hassan. I walked away from him and all that. You know what I mean? There was things behind the scenes that weren't adding up that he told me. Again, when he got drunk, I'd be the first one that he called, and he'll put everything on the line. So I know a lot more than, you know, just the average viewer. I think a lot of his ex-moderators, he's went through several of them, but, you know, have their own story to tell. We've heard from them as well, the other fellow ex-moderators of Hassan Campbell. So, I mean, when I find out that somebody ain't, you know what I'm saying, what they once said they is, or they veering off track or whatever, I unsubscribe. I'm not fucking with you until you at least get shit right. And if it's a big situation where it can't be corrected, I'm good. And unless me, you know what I'm saying, unless you go there, or unless it's a situation where I have to take it there, like this Brother Polite situation, I've been moved away from Saneter. I didn't fuck with Saneter, because when my brother passed away, Saneter was more mad that I wasn't moderating in his chat room. And I wasn't even on YouTube, period, but I wasn't moderating in his chat room, so I was expendable at this point. Like, he didn't give a fuck about me no more. So it's cool. Like, it is what it is. Then the shit with Polay happened, so that's my genre. This is what I talk about. He knew I was gonna talk about this. He had to have.
Like, they was married.
But at the whole time where I was moderating for Saneter, I say it was about a year, he had my cell phone number, my email number. I did artwork for him where I sent the artwork through, you know what I mean, so that he could get it and stuff like that. And I'm bringing that up to say that he could have been sent me the information on SOLARMIND. If he wanted me to look into other certain things, he could have definitely did that, and we could have handled this. But he failed to do so until now, which also makes him look suspect. And we're just listening to SOLARMIND talk about his portion, and you can believe it or not. I'm not going to twist your arm or whatever. What I do is just present stuff. I present my opinion. I may break down what I don't agree with about it or ask questions. That's how we learn, you know, what we're really dealing with in these situations.
Married, wedding, you know. So
I think I called him Brother Polite. I got to get out of that. I never looked at Brother Polite as a brother, period.
Families was merged. You know, and I just think that maybe he was drunk. I don't know what it was. But for him to go that far with it. Now, if they would have got into a fight and it was just a fist fight, and because me and him got into a fist fight, like I said, when I was
Hassan ain't shit.
And we moved forward from that, but to bring a knife into the situation. And
I agree with that, Ascent. And I've always felt like you know what I'm saying, I'm an Aboriginal, but I do, you know, I do have knowledge in, you know what I'm saying, I'm not claiming to have a lot or nothing like that, but in the Kemetic practice, because one time I thought that that's what we were. I'll admit it. And I do have a song where it talks about Kemet in it a little bit, but you know, I'm an Aboriginal. My people from here. You feel what I'm saying? So you know, I follow that. But it ain't really follow. It's just like who he is. I can trace it back to my great-great-grandmother who was born here.
You know, the way it happened
and you know, even probably further than that. But anyway, let me shut up.
And
You're gonna
you
be
know,
here all day playing with me.
Anonymous Hebrew and Yara knows, because I actually went to the house today to talk to my brother, and he still got those scars on him.
I mean,
he still got those scars.
I didn't mean Fly Boys, but salute to Fly Boys. I meant Mr. Nice One. Salute.
17 years.
I was reading the wrong line. My bad.
You know, so it was a deep situation, bro.
And we got
I mean, pedophilia and stuff, this goes back to a long time ago. This is not anything new, but yeah, they're out there.
3 friends of the channel, Unseen Soldier, Sister Soul, and Divania. Hit the like button, please, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Stick around for the other conversations, and just to let y'all know what you're actually looking at. SOLARMIND is a commissioner of a debate league. He started a debate league, right? It's in his 3rd year, going on his 4th year. The 4th season starts September 6th. We all are debaters. Me, A9, Yara's a judge, Yahuka non-debater, Akmalak, Taz. And so we're actually questioning him to get full clarity on the case that he had. Because Saneter and NAPAH and other people, that the unmentionables, has put out there that he's a full-fledged pedophile that has been charged and convicted of messing with a little girl. So in the perspective of that, he feels is necessary and important to come forth and be 100% transparent on the situation. And I would like for people to encourage everybody to be like that, that's going through something right now.
Now I feel that part. All right, I apologize. Sometimes it does that. It shouldn't have been my internet, but sometimes there's an issue with it communicating with YouTube or whatever. I do apologize. Let's just get back into it because I don't want to have to start a new show.
Accusations. All right, now I want to start. I'm gonna ask you about them in a second. The accusations are horrible, but people who actually have these charges, especially people like Polite, who has such stature, could be transparent and give the black community this experience to know how real life is.
Yeah, did it again. Each time it does it, I'll stop. Just
if he feels he's innocent, then he knows that other people.
All right, actually it says that my my thing is trying to update or whatever. That's what we're having issues with. So I'm just gonna leave this here. In my opinion, hold on, I'll talk to you guys in a second. Hold on, let me just drop this because I don't want it to mess up the video. The video gets stuck because sometimes it does, and then it only plays at a certain part and you can't rewind it and all that. But let me see. Would be a bad look, but I'm just gonna keep it as that. Now I do support the Argument League and those that, you know, held his feet to the fire. I did want to view the whole video, but you know, I can't control what my internet wants to do. And see, this is the problem. Let me hurry up and get off of here, but I appreciate those that did come through. I'll continue to look at whatever's sent to me. It looks like Body After Body bro is gonna send me another case, and we'll look into that as well. But I'm also on Polite's motherfucking ass in that situation. You guys do with this information what you will in your mind or whatever. You know, you can maybe comment below, let me know, do you think that, you know, SOLARMIND could be trusted or not? We definitely needed to pull up, became that we only care about Polite, even though I've already proven that's a lie. That doesn't even make sense. In reality, I hope, like, when I come aware of things or whatever, I'll deal with it in that manner. and I ain't here to play. It's no clout chase or nothing. This shit means a lot to me, and I really respect you guys listening to my story or whatever, as I, honed in on why I say certain things or why I feel this way, or when I was talking about church and all that and all that. I salute y'all. Much respect. Thank you. And I will see you guys in another video.